trying to test this, see if I can hear it.
Are you playing those on the air?
I don't think so.
Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday Night Gridiron, powered by Diamond Productions. Their motto is, we don't set the bar, we raise it. Now let's head out to the stadium and join the voice of the Maroon Tide, Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker.
Welcome into Hattiesburg, Mississippi tonight for South State action as we are kind of on the crow's nest on top of the home press box tonight. Ricky Whitaker and Clay Sweet, glad to be joining you. Jackson Harrelson providing our Coast Electric, Coast Connect, and Diamond Production stream for us this evening on the right, doing his best with the camera work. As usual, we've appreciated his work all season long. We'll have the booth cam up for just a moment, Rick, really during the pregame, and then we'll switch over and just make sure people know about our YouTube stream. But Rick, you can tell it's dark up here and we're in the elements, so we'll ask for a little grace and mercy tonight from our YouTube viewers and people taking it in audio only. But we thank you for joining us on this Friday night. What a spot to be, Rick. South State 6A championship. This should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a blast, man, and just proud for the Picayune players and coaching staff, fans to be able to be back in this game here at Hattisburg. And you said it, we're in the elements. It's going to be a very cool, clear night, 45 degrees and dropping as we count here through the day. But really excited to get this one started.
Rick, kind of tell us, I asked you this, and we'll dive deeper, but at first glance, you know, Picayune has rolled up to this point, had two opponents in George County and Hancock that haven't had great years necessarily up to that point. I'm going to be honest with our listeners, this hasn't been the toughest road to get to this ball game, but that's not Cody and his team's fault. You play who's in front of you, and Picayune has sailed through those first two ball games, has scored over 50 in both. Hattiesburg, on the other side, has played really, really hot football. They started out 2-2, Rick, on the season, then won 9 straight. Kind of tell us what you know about the Tigers so far in this first segment, and then in the second segment, we'll do an even deeper dive on Hattiesburg.
Yeah, Hattisburg, in a year that really should have been a rebuild for them, you lose most of your starters from a year ago, about 90% of the players is what Charlie Rogers told us in the preview episode this week. But that wasn't the case at all. Had some kids that transferred in, and a lot of skill makers, a lot of skilled players around this offense for the Tigers, and surprisingly very good defense is what we've seen from them as well. But you know, you schedule good 7A opponents to start the season off, and took some big losses early on, one to Petal and one to Oak Grove. Of course, that's a couple of playoff teams on the 7A side, but a really good and a really talented group.
Yeah, and so this really matches up, Rick. When you talk about what Hattiesburg has this season opposed to the matchup last year, that was a game that was a South State ball game. Picayune was fortunate, and we were fortunate enough to have that ball game at Lee Triplett Stadium. It was a tight ball game, a heartbreaker for the Tide. Really anything that could have went wrong from the officiating standpoint, from some close things, some just a bad luck night really for the Tide. That may sound like sour grapes, but it is what it is. And so how much do you think that kind of plays a part into tonight, if at all?
I think it's going to play a big role, Clay, and we talked about some of the players from that team a year ago on the Maroon Tide team that's been back. And look, it's Thanksgiving week, everybody's home. You add even more players to that. I know some of those have been at practice this week. I heard guys like Brendan Williams, Kanan Uzel, the guys we mentioned last week, been active at practice, and I think they're helping remind them of that really tough loss. And you said sour grapes. It's a loss that's lingered for a long time. And you know, look, in a game like this, so much at stake, and a highly contested South State matchup, it's hard to kind of know what's fact and what's fable. But you know, you look at this team with Hattisburg, their leading rusher. That's going to be number 22, Hayden Leverett. Didn't play the last couple of weeks. Number 5, Mr. Tristan Keys, in street clothes on the sideline. It's hard to know who we'll see tonight and what we'll see, but that's one thing that we do know for a fact is this Maroon Tide team is hungry for revenge.
And revenge, Rick, could be tonight. When you look at the game last year, some of the things I mentioned, about 6 or 7 pass interferences all went against the Tide trying to cover Mr. Keys. Depending where you look, he's the number 1 or number 2 wide receiver across the land. He's played in 4 ball games this year, hasn't played in the last 2 weeks. He looks to not be a participant tonight. So you take a 5-star off the board, a kid who is a true game changer, but it's hard to feel sorry for Hattiesburg when you watch tape on them. They are tremendous. Last year's ball game, Rick, I really think pivoted on 2 onside kicks that Hattiesburg were able to parlay into 2 scores right before the half. Picayune was up 17-7 at one point in that ball game. Hattiesburg gets those 2 scores, go into the half with a lead, and really I think parlaying those back-to-back possessions and turning them into touchdowns were a big piece of Hattiesburg winning. A real nail-biter down to the end. Picayune had 2 balls thrown in the end zone with a chance to win it. Both balls kind of controversially incomplete. And so, boy, what a matchup, what a storyline we have in front of us tonight.
Yeah, and if you go back to Hattiesburg's matchup a week ago with Pascagoula, you and I both watched that replay of that film on Huddle multiple times, and it's kind of the same thing. I thought Pascagoula played pretty well with Hattiesburg, but had 2 interceptions in the first half and had a botched fumble on a punt, and Hattiesburg capitalized on all of those. So that's how you see them kind of take off, is they're very opportunistic. When they get those chances, they usually put points on the board.
Let's hear what Cody Stogner had to say about tonight's matchup. After this 2-minute break, we're in the middle of our Mossy of Picayune pregame show. When we return, you'll hear from the head ball coach, Cody Stogner, on the other side of this 2-minute break.
Thanks for stopping by Mossy of Picayune. We're proud to be your family-owned GM superstore, serving Mississippi and Louisiana with new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here, you're more than just a customer, you're part of the Mossy family. We offer a family-friendly atmosphere backed by GM-certified parts and service, and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Mossy of Picayune, it's small-town friendly service with big-time savings.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these 2 stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
With Cody Stogner on our Mossy Picayune pregame show. Cody, always a special week to still be playing football, and this will be a special scene in here tonight. Hattiesburg and Picayune. Kind of tell us your thoughts after watching Hattiesburg on film preparing for this ball game.
Well, just clicking on the film, they're here for a reason. I mean, they're a really good football team. You can tell they're well coached. Just tremendous, like a lot of good athletes on the field. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us this week, but I really like how we prepared Monday through Thursday, and these kids got a little something in their eyes right now that I really like. I can't explain it, but I know it's something different, and I'm really liking it.
Cody, you've talked about it the last 2 or 3 weeks, player-led. Has that continued this week?
Oh yeah, it happens. You don't change something if it's not broke. So the kids have been doing a great job with it. It really comes down to I like how they like taking ownership and everything like that, and accountability, and just other players, younger players, getting in there and listening to them. So I think it's been beneficial to our football team.
Coach, normally we get a rematch. You're familiar with schemes. You're familiar with players. When I pop on huddles, it's new kids. It's a new leadership for Hattiesburg. This is a different club. Still do some of the same things, but this is a different club to prepare for than a year ago.
Yeah, definitely different. They graduated a bunch from last year, but they just reloaded. I mean, it's like the pond's full, stock full over here. And, obviously a spread team. They look very similar from one last year, like same kind of formations, and but obviously, same recipe, just different ingredients. Defensively, they line up in multiple formations on the defensive line and defensive front. So the front seven, we got to communicate well tonight because they do multiple different things and they do it well. So just if we continue our game plan and do what we do, I like our chances.
Cody, give me a couple things. If we were to do well tonight, we'd be visiting together in Starkville next week.
We just win all three phases of the football game. Special teams is going to be huge in games like this, and we need to win the special teams game. And it comes down to us staying ahead of the chains, holding on to the football, and having those long drives to keep our defense from having to run around all night on the field. So, and I believe our defense is going to get us a few stops. So we're going to have a few stops, and the ball's going to have to bounce our way some. I know this late in the year, we've known from the past 5 years that you got to have luck. You got to have luck on your side, but the only way you get luck is you got to play yourself in the luck, and that just comes with our effort and attitude and our want to.
We said it a lot last year, Coach. I'll re-emphasize it this week. We see an opponent like this on tape. I study them pretty hard. I love to look at it. Rick does too, but I like us. I think our players have that mindset too, walking in here tonight.
Yeah, we definitely don't think that we're an underdog. These guys have been just kind of circled this game. We never knew throughout the year how we'd make it back here, and sure enough, we did. And these guys have been really excited after last Friday night to really get this week going.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Roll Tide, roll.
So there, Ricky Whitaker, a word with Cody Stogner just moments before kickoff. We're about 15 minutes out now, and this is always one of my favorite segments to kind of get your thoughts on what Cody had to say there in our pregame chat.
I think he hit on all the things that we would be talking about as well. Winning in three phases, special teams is something that we've done a pretty good job of, especially in the kicking game. Been a little prone to the onside kick. Some you mentioned what happened a year ago. Certainly that's been on their minds as they prep this week. But I think we could have some opportunities in the kicking game. Looking at Hattisburg on film, their coverage units don't just jump off the tape at you at all. I think we could have a chance to get some big return yards there. But he mentioned the long drives, and we know that's going to be Picayune football. We need to stay on the field and keep those skill players that we've talked about that are so good off on the sideline. That's going to be the key tonight for the Maroon Tide.
And speaking of keys, Rick, let's get a look now at our talking ball, y'all. Tale of the tape for these two clubs. When you look at these numbers, Rick, throughout the postseason, now these are limited to the two postseason games for both Picayune and Hattisburg. Those are the two games that got them this opportunity to play tonight. What numbers kind of jump out at you at this talking ball, y'all, tell of the tape?
The biggest thing for me, Clay, with Picayune is the difference between points scored and points allowed. Through the regular season, we were flirting around 7 points, sometimes just winning by a touchdown. It got a little better towards the end of the season, and that went up to 10 or 12. But that's a big one, and you say, well, look at the opponents. Okay, well, Hattiesburg played George County too. They gave up 21. We held them to 7. And you look at the Hancock score from us. That's a team that Hancock held West Jones to only 14 points. They scored 20 against Hattisburg, so I look at that as being a plus. The rushing numbers been right where they need to be for us, staying up really, really high, knocking on nearly 450 416 in rushing. And the sacks, man, 7 of those, all 7 came in last week against Canaan. A very, very good player. Had him on the ground 7 times. And when you look at last week alone, Clay, 9 tackles for a loss. You got to go back to week 2 against North Shore to see numbers like that. 7 sacks. That also matched our high. That was also against North Shore. And then the biggest one, 10 quarterback hurries. That's a record for us on the year. We're playing better on defense, and we're doing it at the right time.
How much of that do you think has to do with making Burnett's return? I thought he was a huge impact Alts played well at the linebacker spot. And then Brody Kirkland, arguably his best game of the season a year ago. Those linebackers going to have to be good tonight because we've got some Hattiesburg clips that we're going to show you now and show you exactly how the Tigers are going to want to move the football against the Maroon Tide tonight.
We're going to look at some of these plays, Clay. This first one, this is a 4 wide receiver bunch. And you got Davion Young, number 4. He's on the top of the screen. He runs an out route, moves the sticks. It's finding creative ways to get number 4, Davion Young, the ball. This next play, you got trips, motion. It's a throwback to one of the other quarterbacks on the roster, Josh Marshall. He throws a bomb to Davion Young. Coach Stouter mentioned spread. You see the spread here. Pascagoula's defense pretty good against the spread. They say no problem. We'll go to 7 offensive linemen, 8 counting the H-back, and just play big ball. That's a pickup of 9 yards right there. But the one thing about Ducksworth, their quarterback, and he's a good one, has a tendency to stare down the wide receiver. Pascagoula missed on an opportunity there. Could have changed the game. But if we can get them to do that, be opportunistic on defense, Ducksworth is going to look a lot closer and a lot longer if he's got pressure. If we can get it, that's good. The other thing I think is going to be important, Clay, for every one of those offensive linemen you have and you bring in extra ones, that's one less skill person that's going to be on the field. If we can get them in that big set, that means that we're giving them trouble. They got a lot of weapons they can use. Let's try to limit that.
Yeah, you mentioned 4. Boy, is he a special type player, Rick. He does it on both sides. Mr. Young, consistent in all of their games this year. He has been a star. I've got him with 40 carries and 40 catches. The 40 carries have resulted in a little bit over 500 yards, 11 touchdowns. The 40 catches have him over 1,000 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. He's totaled 24 touchdowns for the Tigers. He can hurt you in multiple ways. You've given us a look here at the Tigers and the way that they can kind of spread you out or bunch together. They'll show you a bunch of looks. You heard Cody talk about the communication. You're a former linebacker for the Maroon Tide. What is he talking about there with that type of communication in the front 7 or even the secondary?
You got to know who's got who, right? You got to be communicating formations. There's going to be certain things that Picayune's going to look to do on defense based off of those different formations, and you got to make that decision quickly. Typically, your linebackers are going to be calling that out for the rest of the defense. And here's another thing to look at, Clay. We looked at the tail of the tape just with playoffs. Hattiesburg, spread team, the last 2 weeks, they ran it 36 times against Pearl River Central, 39 times on the ground against Pascagoula. They're not scared to go flashy, and they'll also get ugly and play a big set, just run the football.
Yeah, that big set's an inverted wishbone from what we saw on tape, and they don't mind pounding you. I don't think the Tide are man out on the other side as well. They never really stopped Picayune a year ago, just stole the extra possessions, Rick, but didn't have to really punt it at all. That was an offense for Picayune that had its way with the Tigers, just didn't have enough possessions to win the football game. We'll see what plays out here tonight. We'll have our anthem and our prayer during this break. When we return, we'll tell you how they're dressed, and we'll get after it here on South State 6A Championship Football, Hattiesburg and the Tide.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services.
We're back here on the campus of Hattiesburg High School. Beautiful anthem. And we are just about ready to rock and roll. If you're watching on the booth cam, we certainly appreciate you for joining us tonight. In the comments, or if somebody knows the YouTube stream can place them there. I think I did earlier, but you can go over and see the ball game. And so if you'll go over to find Talking Ball, y'all, you can search it up just like that through YouTube, and then you can see the game, other than Ricky and I perched high above the home press box here at Tiger Stadium. As the Tide have made their way out, Rick. They're going to be in maroon breeches, white tops, and those beautiful maroon headgears. Lettering going to be maroon. The numerals going to be in maroon. And then we'll wait and tell you how Hattiesburg's dressed when they approach here. We've got a ledge out in front of us, so Jackson Harrelson and a camera may catch them before I do, but I think they're going to be black with purple numerals and lettering, which will be fun for the broadcaster and play-by-play role to pick out numbers. Rick, I'll rely on you like I do most Friday nights and a bunch of other ways to even help me with the numbers. We've got our captains out for the Maroon Tide. That's going to be Javion Bolden, Mr. Colt Robertson, Macon Burnett, and Nolan Wilson. Pretty good four right there for Coach Steigner and the gang to select to send out for our captains tonight.
Yep, it's four really good ones. Yeah, it's mentioned it's dark. Kind of feels like a camping trip up here for us, right?
Yeah, go hunting a South State championship on this cool late November night. Boy, Picayune has made a tradition of playing in this ball game. Rick, you can correct me here, but this is the Tide's 5th appearance in this one in a row. Won 2 state championships with those first 2 appearances. Lost to West Jones on the road in that 3rd appearance. Lost to Hattiesburg at home last year, so be tough to say looking to get over the hump when you're competing for a South State championship. That would be a little cheap to say in my opinion, but the Tide would love to win this one tonight and punch his ticket to Starkville next Friday night. That will be a traditional 7 or 7:30 kick, and so should be a lot of fun. The Tigers making the Maroon Tide wait.
Yep.
Look, the Tigers are going to have all the gamesmanship. We saw that last year under the leadership of Coach Vance. I believe they've actually got the AD on the phone directing the Tigers to make a show. He's at around the 50, and I think he's probably on the horn saying, hey, it's getting that time where if you don't get out, we're going to get that delay of game or unsportsmanlike 15-yarder.
It's the old stall, right? Hattiesburg pulling the stall.
Make you wait here at home. Boy, it was entertaining last year. Rick, we missed you on that call. Jeff Lysette, who's tuned in somewhere cozy, probably with a soft drink, if I know him right, tuned into tonight's action. But we put him to work in this matchup in the first time through.
Yeah, Jeff always does a great job, man. He's helped me out several times. Anytime you need him, he'll step up and help you.
Yeah, that's part of being a partner with me. You seem to fit that role. I saw the bride check in. She can feel y'all's pain in both of those roles. I need a helper around me most of the time, and the Lord has been good in providing that for most of my life, so I'm certainly thankful of that. Rick, a couple keys tonight. You heard Coach Steigner as the Tigers continue to stall from Hattiesburg. What are a couple keys that maybe you haven't unveiled yet here in this Mossy of Picayune pregame show? He's got the notebook back out, so I know he's ready.
Well, I mentioned, I think, Clay, that if Hattisburg had a weakness, and they don't have many, but I think their offensive line is going to have trouble with our front four, and I think we're going to come out with a four-man look. That's going to open a lot of things up. Ducksworth, only about 5'9", don't have his height on the roster, probably a reason for that. Going to be, again, a chance to, with that sidearm throwing motion, and knock some balls down. But Hattisburg's defense, and I looked at what they did against Pascagoula last week, very impressive group. And a couple of those guys that stand out, number 12 for them, Marion Price, doesn't have his position listed. Looks like he plays a linebacker or a strong safety. Got a ton of tackles. You mentioned a Marion Tyson-type numbers, 160 is what we had him for, and a lot of those for a loss. And then a young buck for them, a sophomore, and Tavion Allen wears number 99 for them. 18 sacks is what they have him down for, and a lot of tackles for loss. They will blitz. Charlie Rogers talked about that in our preview episode. They'll throw some unique, different stuff at. He mentioned it as things that you just don't see in South Mississippi with football, but they'll bring safety blitzes. They'll bring guys from all over the field, but that defense will get after you.
Tigers making their way from back behind us, Rick, from over by the gymnasium. Really kind of a cool sight for us. We're probably the first group to see the Tigers. They're tucked back behind us, our Hattiesburg. They're making a fashionably late appearance. I don't think the guys in stripes are super pleased with it, but they are making their way literally back behind. Then they cross the street over into the stadium. A large roster, as it's taken the Tigers a while to make that trip over. But they finally have. They will be in those black bottoms, black tops, purple but trimmed out in gold. Did me a favor there. Purple headgear for the Tigers. These, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 now captains.
It's going to be.
We've already talked about a slew of them, Rick. There's
Josh
not many.
Marshall, and
there's not many out there that we didn't.
There's that man, Davion Young. We talked about him, and number 6, Anthony Ponce.
Ponce was good a year ago, Rick. He played a heck of a ball game against the Tide.
Braylon All-Britton, number 8. I think they got most of the quarterbacks on the roster out.
They will only allow 4 to come out. I think that's the rest of the senior class kind of tucked in behind this group.
And I'm looking, Clay, I'm seeing if number 5 is still dressed the way he was earlier.
I'm sure you're not the only one
not
looking,
the
my
only
friend.
One. There's a lot of people looking at that.
How could you not? A 5-star who's played in 4 ball games for the Tigers. Charlie Rogers on our preview pod disclosed that he was medically cleared at some point in this one, but has not played over, we know of, at least the last 2 to 3 weeks. Doesn't look to be a go tonight based on how we saw him dressed in the pre-game warm-ups.
Yep, he was in, looks like jogging pants and had his jersey on, but no pads.
No pads. And so if you're joining us on the booth cam, go over, find our YouTube channel. It should be in the comments. If not, you can see the game. Search Talking Ball Y'all on the YouTube channel. This is neat tonight as my son is right by us. As Keys looks dressed. Is he not dressed? Not dressed. Okay. Boombox in hand, though. Is that him with the boombox? Yeah, boombox, but still in street clothes, but that's awfully close to being dressed. He's got everything but I think the pads on.
Yeah.
But he's walked out of the locker room with a boombox, Rick. I hope that's what it's called still. I'm dating myself probably with that terminology, but what a scene here. Is the Tide finally going to make their way out of the sign at the best cheerleaders in the land have put together and being held by a leader of that group, Jessica Smith. Number one fan, Rick, of our show. We love the way that she's able to take in our broadcast, and a family affair all the way around. Look at this scene as the Tigers now gonna come out of some smoke, a black inflatable helmet for the Tigers to run out of. A lively joint here tonight, Rick. This one's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. There's first-year head coach Kendall Lacey coming out. Went all the way to Valdosta, Georgia to get that young man.
He's a good one too, Rick.
He's a good one.
Early returns on him. So far, so good. He's got his team out to a 10-2 mark and right back in a South State championship ball game. Rick, it was a special year for the Tigers. Went undefeated before Grenada were able to knock them off. They were trying to win their second state championship 100 years apart. Played for it in 24, won it in 1924.
Yeah.
But the Chargers from Grenada played spoiler, 3 or 4 blocks. Can almost see the rock from here, as that's where that ball game took place.
Sure did, and been close a few times, just haven't been able to get that, hoist that trophy up. And like most people, you go from 5A to 6A and 4A, and when you drop to 5, you're going to run into West Point along the way. We've certainly seen them as well.
Yeah, it's almost worth hiding kids from in the hallways or other schools to not be in that 5A classification with West Point this year. They are brutal. Tide going to get the winner out of Ridgeland and Warren Central if they're able to advance. That would be, as we've said, a Dayton Starkville. This one's going to kick off a tad late. Me and you are familiar with being a tad late in Hattiesburg as college roommates up here. We can relate to being a tad late for important things in our lives up here.
Yeah, a lot of times we did that, my friend. A lot of times. A lot of good times with you, though.
Yes,
I think you're going to receive this one.
They are, and they're expecting the onside kick. The onside kick has played the Tide at times. It certainly played them a year ago in this exact same matchup. So have that hands team kind of bunched up. Your deep back is Fortenberry. He stands back at about the 8-yard line for the Tide. He's going to kick it away in a deep kick handled by Fortenberry at about the 4. Fortenberry trying to make a return out of it. He's met by a gang of Tigers at about the 20-yard line. That's where the Tide will go to work. We'll start this drive at the 20. So get it as if it was a touchback, but Fortenberry is going to field that one in the morning, even for it to start at the 20. Tigers with tremendous team speed, Rick. You could see that on the coverage there.
Yeah, we didn't see them kick it deep a lot through the playoffs. They've been doing the pooch kick, but he got all of that one in. Very good coverage.
Leia can really kick it. He's a good kicker for the Tigers. Macon Burnett at the fullback position. That is 2K Zay over the 2,600 mark on the ground for the Tide at the tailback spot. Mishandled a snap. Did Colt Robertson, just looking for somewhere to fall. Had the presence of mind to go back and get it and not just let it lay there. Did Colt Robertson, a senior, maybe a younger quarterback there, they isn't able to find it. It's a loss to start on the play, Rick, but it could have been a lot worse. At least you have the ball back, and it will be second now and 15 from the 15 of the Tide.
Yeah, not the way you wanted to start off there with a botch snap and loss on the play.
Ball rest over on the right hash. Tide have it at his own 15. 2 wide receivers there at the top of your screen. That's Illett, the widest man out. Here's Zay. He's got a little bit of room. He's up to the 20 to the 21-yard line. And there's that closing speed, Rick. When Maton went there the last 4 weeks, Zay was dancing about 6 seconds later. Tonight it's going to be a little bit tougher to find that corner and that edge. as it was a good run, but it wasn't that home run. It will set up a 3rd and 8, ball to the 22.
Yeah, boy, that loss of 5 yards would have been 3rd and 4, but going to be much longer here.
Little option look as Colt Robertson will hold on to it, and the Tigers all over it. Maybe a gain of 1, but that's it. Trying a little option look out to the right side, the short side of the field, and that Tiger speed showed up again in numbers. So Ty going to go 3 and out here, Rick, and have to punt it away. You'll have a speedy punts back to receive. Look for a good punt here from Nolan Wilson.
1:37 there on that drive, and from where they started at, only got netted 2 positive yards.
They'll let Nolan take his time, and he's hit a beauty. Get a good bounce he has. Hit at the 40, going to roll all the way to the 32-yard line. Good effort there by Nolan Wilson to help flip the field a little bit, but Hattiesburg got just what they wanted, a 3 and out to start this ball game. So Hattiesburg going to take over. Let's see where they are officially going to spot this thing at the 33-yard line. That's where Hattiesburg will go to work. This is an explosive offense, Rick, but very, very balanced is this offense. 178 in the air, 186 on the ground. Looking to take a shot early, caught midfield up to the 45-yard line. A beautiful catch by Plump. Plump got himself open, climbed the ladder just a little bit to go get it off the hands of Duckworth, but Hattiesburg rolling into Tide territory early. And I believe the Tide move. Let's see. What a first play from scrimmage for Hattiesburg. About a 20-yard pickup. Nope, this is going to help. They're going to say the Tigers with the infraction. Going to back up Hattiesburg 5.
Tigers had a lot of penalties last week. Pascagoula did as well, but it's a bit of a break for the Tide. But boy, you give Ducksworth that kind of time, and had a couple of guys running free there.
Yeah, he had a couple to choose from. Good point made by you. Shotgun formation, 3 wides to the right. Tailback off the right hip, a fake to the tailback. Quick pitch catch, ran through a tackle up to the 46 of the Tide. Tide have been better at that, Rick. A tackle after the catch. Here, a missed tackle allows 3 or 4 additional yards.
And there's that tempo. We talked about that. Thought we'd see some quick plays at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Leverett. He'll get it off the right side. About a 3-yard pickup or bring up 3rd and 4. Leverett's a guy that's been missing in action for the Tigers of late, but he's put together a strong year on 80 carries. He's 593 on the ground. Averages 7.5 per with 5 touchdowns, does Leverett. Leverett, a strong football name here in the Pine Belt.
And that's Davion Young in the slot. We'll watch him. They check some big guys in up front.
2 wide receivers to that left side. It's Leverett, and he's got the first down and then some. A stiff arm at the end of the run, but he's to the 32, and this is what Hattiesburg can do to you. They can show you multiple personnel packages,
yep,
multiple formations, and then they can go really quickly where it's hard to adjust to any of it. Here's Leverett again off the left side. Too much room. He's up to the 21-yard line, Rick, and Hattiesburg getting whatever they wanted. This drive started back at the 33. They're already to the 22 now of the Tide. It's another first down, and going as soon as they can get it set are the Tigers. There, I thought went too early, but they'll let it stand. Called on the near sideline and quickly advanced up to about the 6-yard line. There's Davion Young again.
Yeah, staying with a big set. A lot of offensive linemen out there, but only need one Young. And they found him.
He is really good. Here's another run off the left side, and this will be a 6-yard touchdown scamper from another back. This is a different back end for Hattiesburg as a 6-yard touchdown run. That was Tony Scott, the third. with a touchdown run to get the scoring started for the Tigers. What a drive. Drive started back at the 33-yard line.
Yeah,
didn't take the Tigers long.
We mentioned it, Clay. They've been running the ball a lot in the playoffs and only threw it twice on that drive.
PAT is up, and it's good. And so Hattiesburg got just the start that they wanted here, Rick. A 3-and-out defensively, and then a really good drive. I'll turn it over to you to get our Diamond Production drive summary for the Tigers to take an early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, the Tigers come out with their typical spread formation. We knew they were going to be looking for Young. They did. Only threw it twice, but just got in that big set, went quick tempo, and just marched right down the field. Took some time off the clock, really what we'd want to see from a Picayune drive, but take the early lead here. Now Picayune offense got to respond.
Yeah, they were more physical than the Tide on that drive. At the point of attack, Rick, they were probably averaging, about 8?
Yeah,
9
big
yards
chunks
per carry. And then you had a couple of chunk pass plays in there as well. Here, this is a shorter kick handled at the 8 by Fortenberry. He's got a ton of Tigers around him, and he's wrapped up, corralled back to the 12. And so that team speed on special teams showing itself, as this is not good starting field position for the Tide. We'll start this drive at the 12. Tide needs something good to happen early. This is the type of team who can run away from you, Rick, if you let them. They can overwhelm you, especially in this place with this type of crowd, the band back behind them. Tide need move the chains a couple times and settle in. Tide down 7-0, 7:48 to go in our opening quarter. From the 12 on the right hash, here's Zay Dennis trying to make the corner. Can he? Spin move. He's up to the 19-yard line. That was a fine 7-yard run there, Rick. Had to spin out of a tackle. Showed his speed, showed his elusiveness, did Zay Dennis. But look, I'll say it probably a lot tonight. Weeks past, Zay's out of there. I'll go into a full home run call on that play. Here it'll be, we'll give it a 7-yard pickup, but that's it, up to the 19.
Yeah, he was met at the point of attack there. Just did a good job of breaking the tackle.
One long wide receiver to the bottom of the set. It's a give to Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn going to power forward. The wing back got it going from right to left, Rick, and I thought he was going to get more. It will result in a first down, but there looked to be a gaping hole, and it closed down quickly, but it is a first down for the Tide.
Closed in a hurry, you're right.
They're going to spot it. Let's see where they do finally put it down, at the 23. So good job closing down on it, but we'll take the first down. You can hear it go quiet after one moving of the sticks. Here's the bull, Macon Burnett. I'll take a bunch of those, a bushel of them tonight. That's Burnett, just straight ahead, Rick, for 4. That will get the job done tonight. That's simple math. He gets 4 3 times and move the sticks and hold on to it for a while. Let Hattiesburg's offense kind of sit and think about it, as that's a nice first down play, gain of 4. Tide have it to the 27-yard line over on the left hash. Here's a good run once again by the Tide. That's Zay Dennis spinning loose up to the 40. Good job, Mr. Dennis. And look at this Tide offense get back-to-back first down runs up to the 40.
That's going to be a pickup of 13 for Zay. His best run of the night so far here early in this first quarter.
We'll certainly take it. And ball rest at the 40. 6:25 left in this opening quarter. Hattiesburg got a 3-and-out defensively scored with their first touch. 45, a swim move up to the 50 by the tailback, Dennis. Rick, you'll see that a lot by a defensive lineman, kind of swim around someone there. You saw it by our tailback, Zay Dennis. Dennis starting to cook a little bit. He has had an incredible year, over 2,600 rushing yards. He's got 32 total touchdowns, and here he has the Tide out to midfield.
Yeah, back-to-back good runs for Zay. Gets 10 yards there, got 13 to play before.
See if the Tide can keep moving it. Nixon at the center position. Colt Robertson has it from here. The bull goes straight ahead, but cut that run in half. That's that man, Rick. He's tough. He was tough a year ago. That's Mr. Allen, the defensive stalwart there in the middle for the Tigers. You talked about his numbers in the pregame. You can't let him wreck the game. There he shut the bull down for just a 2-yard gain, but I like us using a fullback. That's something that you and I talked a lot about this week, being able to soften up that middle.
Yep, I agree with you. I like it too.
Senior quarterback Colt Robertson under center. Gives it to the junior, Jamari Hathorn, his first touch of the night. Gets it to the 46. Be a gain of 2, bring up third, and let's call it 5 here, Rick. Ball at the 46 of the Tigers. 4:50 left in this opening quarter. Tired of putting together one of those patented type drives, but you're going to need a play here on third down. At least get half of it. Senior QB1, Colt Robertson, going to pitch it to Jamari. Jamari with room. Dives forward past the 40 up to the 36-yard line. Move those chains as Hathorn really, really athletic, Rick. He is
great run.
Something for the Tide.
Very patient run. Had his hand down. You could see him putting his hand on his offensive lineman, just waiting for that spot.
And it's enough for the first down. Colt Robertson did a good job getting out in front on that run.
It'll be a pickup of 9 yards there for Moto.
I'm starting to say that. 6 to 9, a fake power, and then a toss out in the flats. I like that play call too. Caught over on the far sideline by Dennis. You fake the power, Rick. You look both routes downfield, and then your senior quarterback, smart enough to realize neither one of those are there. I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'll just flip it out to the guy that I just faked the power to, and Dennis, and it results in a minimal gain, but that's a good play call on first down. Gets Tied 5 yards down to the 33 of the Tigers.
Yeah, boy, take that.
Absolutely.
Good as a 4-yard run.
Here's the toss to Dennis. Dennis trying to work across the right side. Not a lot there. Up to the 31 as A.K. Burnett actually just demolished a guy about the 21-yard line. You talk about finishing off a block. Good grief. He smoked the young man. Minimal gain, just not a whole lot there. To the 31, and that's it. But that was A.K. Burnett letting his presence be felt. Junior James, the lone wide receiver, he's at the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 4.5 here for the Tides. A. Dennis trying to work off the left side this time, Rick, and nothing there. That's Allen again, and we're going to have to put a helmet on him as he's just really big and really quick as Allen. Allow Dennis to maybe get that half yard, but it'll be a 4th and 4 here from the Tigers' 30-yard line. 2:58 to go in our opening quarter. Tigers on top of the Tide, 7-0.
Yeah, early in this game, Clay, but a big 4th down here for the Tide.
Yeah, you see Cody standing by line judge. I think he's going to let it run all the way down and then burn a timeout to make sure everyone's on the same page. We'll see if that's the case, but I think that's what's going to happen, and it has. Give us a chance to kind of reset the action, Rick, and when Hattiesburg's going so quickly, it's going to lessen your reps, but we'll try to sneak them in here. As what are your thoughts kind of the opening, let's say, 9 minutes of this ball game with the Tigers leading at 7-0 over our Picayune Maroon Tide?
I think Hattisburg did what we thought they would do. They went tempo. They got in a big set a lot faster than I thought they would be, but was very effective in it. So that's not a shocker there. But you go back to Picayune's first drive, Clay, if you don't botch the ball and lose 5 yards to start, I think it's a better start and drive for the Maroon Tide. So had to bounce back from that. But looking at Picayune on this drive, they're getting ready to run their 12th play of this second drive. already burned 5 minutes or so off the clock. So picking up this first down would be huge.
Yeah, it would be. And you hate to make too big of a deal of a play in the early going, but this certainly has the making of an early type turning point, as it is 4th down. Fourth, we'll call it 4. 2:34 left, both teams out of the timeouts. We'll see Fortenberry drop to the bottom of the set.
We'll see if they go hard count and then run a play if that doesn't work.
Here's Cole Robertson tucked under center. They'll give it to Jordan Hathorn. The fullback give, he stretches that out, he's got it. They like the hole that was created the first time on the give to Hathorn, to Jordan Hathorn, the wing going from right to left. We even talked about how quickly it closed down. They went back to the well, did the Tide, and it worked out. First down, ball to the 26 of Hattiesburg.
Yep, 4-yard pickup there for Mr. Hawthorne.
Hathorn now in a slot receiver spot. A little different give here, Rick. I'll let you tell the listeners, but that was a little wrinkle there on the run game for the Tide. Got it to Zay Dennis. He went ahead to the 22-yard line. So about a 4-yard pickup, but a little bit different motion here on the give to Dennis.
Yep, we saw that last week a little bit. That's what the Mr. Hickman told us was the old quickie. You got the backs are split out, so not really a true fullback, just a split backfield, and Zay gets it really quick in his hands.
Jordan Hathorn over at the wing on the right. That's the side that the Tide tried to run to, but this young man's already made. I've got him for 3 TFLs, Rick, tackles for a loss, and that's Allen. He's been a disruptor. That's what we're going to call on Nolan Wilson to be for us when Hattiesburg has the football. Allen has been so far for the Tigers. That will be a loss of 1 on the running play. Just tough to find a way to block Allen. He's 6'4", what would you say, Rick? Probably 270.
Yeah, easy.
And fleet of foot, too. He's quick. He's a really good player. We learned plenty about him last year in that matchup. 3rd and 8. Rolled out the throw. Colt Robertson's got Macon Burnett. It's called 18 down to the 12-yard line. What a brilliant play call. We saw this play a week ago. It didn't work out. They give the Bull a chance to make the catch again this week. He secures it, and he is knocked down at about, let's see where they put it. They're going to put it at the 12-yard line officially. So a 14-yard pickup. Beautiful play call. Nice pitch and catch from Colt Robertson to Macon Burnett. Here's Zay Dennis. Dennis dancing at the 10, and he's up to the 5. Dennis made a major league cut at about the 8-yard line. Mercy. What a cut there by Zay Dennis. For the first time this year, Rick, Dennis looks a bit banged up. He's just not a kid that really does that after the carry, but he didn't like the way he either landed or got hit on that one. He's usually a kid right back to the huddle. He's not on this one. That will do it for our first quarter of play. What a doozy we have in front of us tonight. Hattiesburg leads it 7-0 as we head to our second quarter. What a quarter that was, Ricky Whitaker.
Yeah, and what a drive for this Picayune Maroon Tide, getting ready to run their 16th play of this drive. That's exactly what we wanted to see from this Maroon Tide offense.
Yeah, just a tremendous quarter, and both teams showing why they're in this South State Championship. We'll get a word on our Exotic Stone sideline report from Greg Ducker.
Yeah, guys, having a good sustained drive here. As y'all said, we've got to find an answer for Allen. He has been very disruptive, as y'all have said, time and time again, very formidable defensive player. Guys, we've also got to make sure we're getting our blocks on the outside. We've missed several blocks on the outside as they've tried to cut out, say, a few times. So we're hoping to get those things cleaned up as we progress through the game.
Thank you for that report, Greg Ducker, on our sidelines. And Rick, that's a good point. You know, on some of these long runs, we've credited the wide receivers for holding their blocks or making a good block. And so we'll see if those adjustments are kind of made. But Picayune has looked so much better here on this second attempt, this second drive.
Yeah, and Colt Robertson 2 for 2 with his passes. I don't think anyone's looking for the bull out in the flats, and really good play design there to get him involved in the ball in the passing game.
Boy, Macon, such a good athlete. Sometimes a big, burly linebacker, not going to get credit for that. He's a swimmer. He's a pitcher on the baseball team. He's a three-sport athlete, and he got out in space, secured it, and he's got it to the 11. Second down from there. You've got to get it inside about the, what is that, the 4-yard line down there for a first down. Tide now going from right to left after the quarter change. Ball is over on the left hash. Wide side of the field is the right. Mishandled the center to quarterback exchange, but Zay Dennis made good of it anyway. Now the ball's loose. Ball came loose even after that. So that's twice now that the ball was on the turf in one play.
Oh, and they're saying he's down. Yeah.
Boy, that was risky from the start. Colt Robertson didn't get it from Nixon very well. And then you had Zay Dennis made a pretty good run of it. He was going to be inside about the 2-yard line. The ball looked to come out, Rick, but they will say it was down and dead.
Yeah, we'll certainly take that.
Yes, that could have been bad. But they will say the ball was down. You also have an injured Tiger on the play. Let's see who that Tiger was being helped off. I believe that was 23 for the Tigers, Rick. I think that was Christopher Ville being helped off. Third and a long one. Zay had the first down, but even though they're saying he's down, in high school you got a poor spot. And so they will back the yardage up. I think the Tigers had one too many here, Rick. They were trying to run one off late. Let's see if they'll get the penalty to go against the Tigers. We'll wait and see. White Hat's going to tell us. 12 men on the field for the defense. So it'll go half the distance, and it'll be a 1st and goal now for the Tide. With the half the distance, it'll put it at about the 2-yard line. So Tide now with it at the 2. What a drive this would be if the Tide can just cash it in here, Rick, in the early goings of this second quarter.
Yep. This would be huge. You've spent all this clock with this drive, and you've got to get points from it now.
Zay Dennis following in, making Burnett. He's in. Zay going to get his 31st rushing touchdown on the year. He followed the bull into the end zone. A 2-yard touchdown run for Zay Dennis, and a Maroon Tide drive through and through there as we await the PAT from Mr. Edgar Cruz to try to tie this thing up in the Hub City. The PAT is up, and it's blocked. Wow, haven't seen that maybe once all season long before this, as this one is blocked. What a play, as that was Ponce, Anthony Ponce, who got a haul on it for the Tigers. And, Rick, that could be huge. You don't want 6-point touchdowns in this ball game. And Cruz has been automatic this year. He is 55 now of 59 when it comes to PATs. But that one was blocked.
What a drive, too, Clay. The Maroon Tide run 17 plays. They take 8 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. Might be a record that we've seen since we've been calling games. Get points out of it. Zay Dennis goes in for his first touchdown of the night from 2 yards out. It was mostly Zay. And you look up after this long drive, and Zay Dennis around that 80-yard mark now on the ground.
And, Rick, I can be devil's advocate with the best of it, but, boy, doesn't that just zap some of the energy to get the
I hate that.
I mean, you look up and you're still down one after maybe the most impressive offensive drive all year long for the Tide. And PATs have been an afterthought, really have. I was going into it with an afterthought-type call, but that was a huge block there by Anthony Ponce for the Tigers. Here, Cruz has hit a beauty. It's going to hang up high fielded at the 9, and look at this sprint ahead. Wow, all the way to the 35 rather quickly. Now breaks it back out to the left, midfield, 40, far sideline. Will anybody get there? Nolan Wilson finally at the 12. But, Rick, he was to the 40 before we even thought about it. What an impressive return. And you talk about flip this place. You block a PAT, and then you return the ensuing kick all the way up to, they're going to say, the 17-yard line.
Man, just a well-hit ball, but, man, you could see it, and you caught it. He was already at full speed before a Maroon Tide player was ever near him.
And he is Ponce, same kid that blocked it. What a remarkable special teams play from the Tigers. 2 in a row, actually, a block PAT, and then to be able to return it to the Tide 17-yard line. Here's Leverett. Leverett stood up and stopped. That's Macon Burnett, who was in at the fullback position for every one of those snaps a moment ago, making the defensive play. Monson helped him. A gain of 1, but that's what the Tide are going to have to do against this run, as Leverett's going to check out. That'll bring Tony off the left hip now of Ducksworth. 2nd and 9. Give off the right side, and there he is again, playing possessed as Macon Burnett.
Look at that.
Wow. You talk about urgency and want to. Macon Burnett and then Amari Scott. Scott came in as the Tide's leading tackler, but that was mostly Burnett, as it will be Scott's 87th tackle that he'll split with Burnett.
Yep, going to force them to go back to more of a spread look. Basic set on the offensive line. Let's see if the Tide can get some pressure here on 3rd down.
3rd now 11, as that was a tackle for a loss. Quick pitch out to the side, incomplete. Textbook, and I mean textbook.
What a play.
Jamari Hathorn. We call him Moto. Zootopia 2 in theaters. Now is what a play there by Moto. A great pass deflection, Rick. A junior, we talked about him on the offensive side. Those hips and the way he can play at the corner, probably going to get him a free education. As it's 4th and 11.
Hard count, got to watch for it here.
Tigers going to go for it, but they're going to think about it, I believe, first, and they will. Coach Lacey begging for a timeout. He'll get it. What a ball game we have. 7-6, Tigers lead it. Rick, just like the Tide did moments ago before a crucial 4th down, the Tigers going to burn a timeout. The difference being the Tigers have 11 yards here to pick up after a nice penetrating defensive play by Macon Burnett and Amari Scott.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, man, Ponce has a great return and gets it down to the Maroon Tide 17-yard line, and then they go backwards. So now you're looking at a 4th and long here. So Maroon Tide taking some of that momentum back. And I tell you, Clay, right down here, you can see the Hattiesburg tent where we are. And, boy, Coach Lacey peeked his head in there, and he gave a couple of unpleasantries to his defensive line. And, hey, they gave up a lot of yards, a long drive. He didn't like that at all.
Yeah, and, Rick, that's been a lot of coaches across the state have had to give that same type spiel. It was Coach Lacey's first time to have that kind of Picayune drive go against him. Boy, what a big one. We talked about a 4th down, and the fields have flipped. It was right in this same area that for the Tide offensively that we're able to pick up a big 4th down. This would be a backbreaker if the Tigers could pick up a 4th and 11 here. Ducksworth looking to throw. He'll take a shot at the end zone, and it's dropped as an incomplete pass from the Tide's perspective. Fortenberry was going to have a pick. He's upset with himself, but it's okay. You didn't want to pick that ball off.
Boy,
we'll take it right there on a turnover on downs.
I don't know, Clay. I think he thinks he might still be running with it.
You think he can return that ball,
man.
Rick?
We're looking at the replay here.
It's an outbreaking
There's
ball.
nothing but space there.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless he gets caught by the receiver, but I think that's what he was upset about there.
We'll take it. Either way, Fortenberry with a drop pick in the end zone, but I'm happy that the Tide are off the field. And I'm going to say it, Rick, it may backfire, but I'm okay with the Tide having a lot of field in front of them, try to duplicate a long drive, as we don't want that Tiger offense on the field any more than we have to have them. As Colt Robertson hitting the mouth but delivers a strike of a throw, just falls incomplete. About as good a throw as you could make with a defender hitting him in the mouth. Wilkins unable to come up with a diving type catch. And if you're thinking, boy, if it was such a good throw, why'd he have to dive? But Rick, Colt Robertson was getting smacked when he let it go, and he at least gave his tight end a chance on it.
Yeah, it was a really good play design there, and credit Colt for hanging in there and taking that lick.
Yep, as it now will be 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Tide have it at the 16-yard line. Get out here, Zay. Nope, going to be gobbled up at the 20. So a gain of 4, but we are so used to Zay. And look, he's got over 2,600 yards. How can you blame us? We're so used to seeing he just pop these big, big runs. I think one's coming, though, Rick. I mean, there's only one guy on these last couple stops from Zay Dennis. He's getting closer and closer to hitting that old home run.
He's getting
for
there.
The Tide.
And, Clay, there's nobody playing back. I mean, they got everybody up, one-on-one coverage for the Hattisburg defense. They are daring us to throw it.
3rd and 6 from the 20, and throw it the Tide will. Colt Robertson going to have it picked off at the 29-yard line, returned up to the 20, threw into tight coverage, and it is picked off and then returned up to the 20-yard line. Beautiful break on the ball, as that was an interception. I believe that was Andrews, 21 for the Tigers, able to catch it and then return it up to the 20-yard line. A beautiful break on the football, and what a big play. Change of events here as the Tigers get the turnover that they were looking for.
Yeah,
9:20 before the break. Tigers on top of your Tide, 7-6. There's a run off the right side and a gashing run to the 10, down to the 8-yard run, 8-yard line, go the Tigers.
That's that big-bodied Leverett, and boy, that going back to the interception, Colt Robertson had some time. Just it was good coverage, and maybe threw it a bit behind the intended receiver.
It was a good catch on the play by the defensive back. Here's Leverett. There's our 4-star. Nolan Wilson making a appearance in the ball game. Had to tackle a moment ago on special teams. Really saved a touchdown when you look back at the way Nolan Wilson made that stop. Here he makes a big play, a tackle for a loss. No ball rest over on the right hash at the 10-yard line. 2nd and goal from there. Can the Tigers return the favor with a turnover here? That would be huge. There's Young coming in motion from right to left, and he brought a lot of attention with him, and when he did, the Tide defense kind of softened and able to allow a touchdown run off the right side. That's his 2nd of the night. That's Tony Scott again. He's got a touchdown run of 6 yards and now of 10 yards. It will put the Tigers ahead 13-6 after a 10-yard touchdown run by Tony.
Yeah, you said it, man. When Ford goes in motion, that's Young. Boy, everybody's looking his way, but stay on the ground. And Tigers trying to give us a taste of our own medicine on the ground.
PAT's up, and it is good as the PAT good. 14-6. We'll look at Ricky Whitaker for a summary of what happened right there, Rick. A relatively short Diamond Production drive summary as Tony Scott now with 2 rushing touchdowns for the Tigers.
Yep, just staying big, man. They've tried to come out in the spread, but content just staying on the ground. And again, man, when you've ran it 36 and 39 times a game, the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, you kind of expect to see some of that tonight. But Hattiesburg's offensive line playing pretty well, opening up holes.
Going to be teed up, Rick. Maybe the Tide special teams. You look at starting field position. Tide have had it at the 20 and at the 12. Maybe the Tide can get something done here. Fortenberry's moved up to the 25. That's a different deep back for the Tide. Looks like Zay Dennis standing at the 10, getting set to receive this kick. Zayden Foxworth, the 9th grader, is hidden over at the 25 for the Tide, and that's the direction it will be kicked at. He catches it, heads up to the 40. Look at this young man. You talk about fearless. Called it on a dead sprint at the 35-yard line, Rick. 15 years old, never hesitated.
No chance, man. He was locked in on that.
And he gets it up to the 45. So I beg for better starting field position. Tide won't have it. They will also be facing an 8-point disadvantage here as the Tigers here on their home turf. Beautiful turf as well. They did a good job dragging it before to make sure that anything out there is picked up beforehand. Tiger Band and the Maroon Tide Band have been good tonight. 2 wide receivers to the left of this formation. Here is Dennis, and he's off to the races, Rick. And Zay Dennis going to hit that home run we've been begging for. That will be a 55-yard touchdown run for Zay Dennis. And my, how quickly things can change. Scanning the field, see no flags. As what a sprint ahead there by Zay Dennis and the right side of this offensive line for the Tide. As we'll pause, we'll get your Diamond Production drive summary in here in just a minute, Rick, but the Tide going to go for 2, trying to get back on schedule after having a PAT blocked earlier in this ball game. Trailing by 2, Macon Burnett at that fullback position. Now you'll have Fortenberry motion out to the right, and as he motioned, the crew here didn't like it. They're going to get Tide for a false start. Tide maybe had too many men in motion there, Rick.
Yep, had a lot of people moving there, and looks like now they're going to come in and try to get the extra point.
Yeah, because you're not going to want to go for it after the yardage is backed up and you've hurt yourself. So an extended PAT here, going to have to be a 25-yarder from Cruz. That's not going to bother him a bit. He'll knock it home. 14-13, that skinny 1 point, still a burden that you had blocked earlier, but it feels a bit better after a 55-yard sprinter head by Zay Dennis for the response drive for this Maroon Tide.
Yep, and you said it, man. When you've got that many people in the box, we've seen it every week. It only takes Zay Dennis to get one crease, and there's no one there behind him that can catch him. And, hey, they've got some speed in this secondary, do these Hattiesburg Tigers.
Yeah, they've got speed everywhere. That is for sure, Rick. Got to be careful here. If you're the Tide, do you think about maybe an onside after what you just saw their return game look like? You'd love to steal a possession after a turnover that the Tide have earlier in this ball game. Hattiesburg's +1 in a possession area. Look at Hattiesburg thinking along with me. They're thinking onside here. So now does that change it? If you did, as they are anticipating an onside kick. Let's see what Cruz has up his sleeve. He's got it teed up. Back at the 40 of the Tide, that pink mouthpiece hanging for Cruz, and it is the onside, and it is snagged rather easily by the Tigers as they will have good starting field position. They catch it at their 48-yard line. Good hands play and good thinking by the Tigers. They were not surprised at all, and that was Byron Banks, a sophomore, able to squeeze it. See what the Tide have in store here defensively for the Tigers. Tigers have looked good on offense tonight. We'll start this drive at the 48, their own 48. Shotgun formation for Ducksworth. He's called for it. He's gotten a short arm throw, a push off from Fortenberry's perspective at the corner. He's able to bat it down. Beautiful play from Fortenberry. Tide had great pressure on Ducksworth. Was that a linebacker blitz, Rick? Did we send somebody from that level to get there?
Yeah, we sent the blitz there, and really good play design there. We've seen Coach Hayden start to draw those up
And that looked to be Kirkland getting in Ducksworth's face as he delivered a ball that was underthrown. Fortenberry did a good job in coverage. Incomplete. 2nd and 10, 48 of Hattiesburg. Here is a direct snap to the back, and that is Tony Scott, and he's loose up to the 41. Boy, oh boy. A little trickery there as they direct snapped it to the back. And that was actually Barnes. That was not Tony Scott. They'll mix in 3 or 4 guys back there by Ducksworth, and here was Barnes.
And Zay Dennis Clay with that long touchdown run, that's going to put him over 100 yards already in this first half. 9 rushes for 108 yards. Took him a little while to get going, but when he did, boy, that 12 yards per carry average is what we're looking at.
Mitchell Smith is in the ball game, and a helmet of the young man he just tackled came off as that was Barnes. And when it did, Rick, Mitchell just made a football play of a tackle, and they're going to, I believe, get him for a personal foul.
Yeah,
Mitchell's done a lot worse on the year and hasn't received that flag. But the helmet popped off. It was Grayson Alden and Mitchell Smith, and maybe there was something extra there. I thought Mitchell was the initial tackler, but it looked to be Alden on our kind of delay here, and so maybe Mitchell finished it off when he didn't have to. It's hard to say at first blush, but that's a big 15-yarder as you take Hattiesburg after a real minimal gain, Rick, and now you march them ahead inside your 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And you got Coach Lacey, boy, he is down there begging for an ejection. Not going to get that.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want that, right? If you're for a competitive advantage, if you could get a 4-star headed of Andy out of the ball game. You did get the 15-yarder of your Hattiesburg, and now it's got the ball down to the 28 of the Tide. Here's Tony Scott off the left side. So they've used Tony Scott, they've used Leverett, and they have used Barnes. That's what they've used all year long. It's been a heavy rotation off the right or left tip of Ducksworth, the shotgun formation, and that's where he's lived most of the year. He's been really good in his own right, has Ducksworth. He's looking to throw here, and it's called at the 23, quickly up to about the 16-yard line before escorted out of bounds. Just get the ball to a bunch of different playmakers, Rick.
Yeah,
and boy, Albritton there.
What we've seen is for Brent Brown he's kind of being used as a decoy right now. He was sprinting up the field, open that play up.
Tony Scott again with a tough run up to about the to the 12-yard line. 6:40 left before the break. Tigers on top of our Maroon Tide, 14-13. Tide need a stop. Thrown out quickly, caught, but a nice tackle after the catch was made. That was Jamari Hathorn along with Brody Kirkland. So a minimal gain, Rick, because you don't allow that tackle to be broken after the catch. So it's 7 instead of a touchdown. 7-yard gain instead of it being a score. As it sets up now 3rd and short. Hattiesburg probably in 4-down territory. Here is the Wildcat. Nope. Yeah, it is. The Wildcat formation with Young. He'll get it and go to about the 6. I think he's got enough for the first down. And there, you talked about it. Young's been not used a whole lot here in the first half, but now they'll get him involved. Trying to go back off that right side and will for a score. A score here by Josh Marshall, as Marshall gonna get in from 6 yards out. So Hattiesburg just keeps running folks in, Rick. None of them look bad at all.
No,
as Marshall goes back in there at the Wildcat. He's actually a backup quarterback, so it's hard-pressed to call it a Wildcat, but he had no intention at all of throwing the football. He was just going to run it right ahead, and that's what he did. And so now the PAT is no good from the Hattiesburg side. That's big news as well, because their guy doesn't miss either. And so that's, you get a point back, if you will. Hattiesburg leads it 20-13, but the PAT no good. And so there's your point that you were kind of looking for. The Tide could potentially score here before the half and get it to even, as we've seen a heck of a football game here, Rick.
It has. It's been a good game, and what I've liked, man, is Picayune. You take that personal foul away that drove them down, really standing up pretty good, especially that front four against the Hattisburg run that looked really good on their opening drive. But, boy, Picayune showing they can move the football on offense.
Sure are. We appreciate Coast Connect, Coast Electric, Diamond Productions for their stream tonight. We appreciate Exotic Stones and their prior help in the playoffs and all year long. We appreciate Jackson Harrelson as well, working the camera for us tonight. I'm always thankful for Ricky Whitaker and the job that he does. Here's a kick that's going to bounce at the 8, now picked up slowly at about the 4, but look at the quickness of Zay Dennis. Hey, boy, Rick, me and you try to do all what he just did. That would have been a rough night for us. Some extracurriculars here on the near sideline. That was A.K. Burnett. His motor runs right borderline all the time, Rick, and he got into a mix of Tigers over here on the near sideline. Zay Dennis, that was almost a disaster. He finally picked it up at about the 4. He's able to get it at least out to the 20-yard line. If you're joining us on the booth cam, go to YouTube, type in Talking Ball, y'all. You can find us there. Hopefully that link's in the comments by now. See what the Tide can do. Trailing 20-13, 5:30 left in this opening half. Strange play, Rick. Nobody went. Macon Burnett and Zay Dennis were on a different snap count from the quarterback, and a really bizarre play. The pitch was made and fallen on all the way back to the 1, Rick. What happened here is Macon Burnett's out of his stance. Then the pitch comes to Zay Dennis. That really almost should have been a flag for Burnett for moving, and it benefited the Tigers that it wasn't thrown. And now you've got yourself second and about 30. Back all the way to your 1-yard line. A nightmare here for the Tide. But look at what has come of it. Zay Dennis off to the races. Midfield up to the 40-yard line. Just the speed of the Tigers defense. All that was between him and a score, Rick. Wow. Brought it from the 1 when they're officially going to say he's run out of bounds. If they'll ever spot this, they're going to spot him at that 38-yard line. So from the 1 to the 38, what a big play that was from Mr. Zay Dennis. Continues to pile up the huge yardage.
Yeah, that's a 61-yard pickup right there. My goodness.
He's closing in on 200 yards here in this opening half. 2K Zays. He's over the 2,700-yard mark on the year. Here's Jamari Hathorn, stood up and stopped. A 1-yard pickup, and that's it. Just going to get 1 yard off the right side. Bring up 2nd and 9. Ton of black and purple on the scene there.
Yeah, and the one concern, Clay, is we've now seen 3 plays that have been disastrous, and it looks like it's something between the quarterback and center exchange that they've got to get fixed.
Yeah, I would agree. Brandon Ellett, the lone wide receiver here on the near side. Here's Jamari Hathorn, smoked. Not sure how he held onto the football there, Rick. That's as hard a hit as we've seen on Moto, as he was smoked coming through. No gain on the play. That was Jaden Powell. And we did good to hold on to it. Moto put it on the ground twice last week, did Jamari Hathorn. I was holding on for dear life that it wouldn't be a fumble there, but he did hold on. 3rd and 9, Rick. Not a typical spot for the Tide to be in. You are on your opponent's 37-yard line. But, boy, you look at the way that this thing's being coached, and it's being coached very tough by Coach Keith. He's after every play, Coach Lacey, excuse me, every play, Rick, he's nearly at the numbers trying to motion what side he thinks he's got to read, or he's really trying to implore his team.
He's on the field every play.
I mean, he's really trying to get his defense. He's a defensive-minded coach, as there's a timeout on this third down, and he's really out there. He's not hard to find on your stream, as he's a big guy, former college player.
6'5" guy, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to miss him, and you can watch him before every Picayune snap as the play kind of goes in motion. He's really trying to make an indication of where he thinks that ball is going to be headed. And 2:48, Rick, it would be the Tide's best interest. Pick up a first down here and try to score before the half, but just before the half, right? A beautiful thing from the Tide perspective would be to score with about 10 or 15 seconds left in this half, get it even and go into the locker room, but it's going to have to start with a tough 3rd and 9 here.
Yeah, and it's that cat and mouse game. We've seen it so much this year. You guess right, and it's a tackle for a loss. You guess wrong, and it's a big gapping run, and Zay's made several of them tonight.
Yes, he has. He's in the backfield, of course. He's got Macon Burnett offset to his right. 3rd and 9. Here's a give to Dennis, and there is the Tigers defense once again making a stand. Now it'll bring up 4th and 7. It's just a gain of 2 for the Tide. Trying to slip it inside to Zay. Didn't try to work him outside, trying to get it inside, and we were beat at the point of attack there, Ricky Whitaker.
Yeah, we were, and boy, I'm looking down, too, on the field. I mean, Coach Lacey's standing on the green. I don't think you can stand there.
Yep, he's directing traffic. Him and I'm assuming his defensive coordinator or co-coordinator. 4th and 7. Colt Robertson looking to throw. He's going to get it out in the flats and smoked as Zay Dennis. Credit Dennis for catching the football, holding on to it, but that's a high hit, and Dennis holds on to it, but that was nasty right there. You can see Cody Stogner on the 40 asking for helmet to helmet.
You can kind of see that one coming from our vantage point. Colt kind of hung him out to dry there, but just didn't have anywhere else to go with the ball. Everyone else was covered.
Yeah, I hated the angle we had. As much as I love Zay Dennis, just knew it was coming. And credit the Tigers for making the play. And now if you're the Tide, you've got to lock in. 1:57 left. Tigers get the ball coming out of the locker room. This is a huge possession defensively. Tide desperately need a stop before heading into the locker room. 5 wide receiver set here for the Tigers. 4 to the bottom of your stream. They'll go up top to the long coverage, and Fortenberry probably got away with one there. Rick will take it. Got into the body of the wide receiver, and almost 100% of the time that's a flag, but we will take it, as it is not, and it is incomplete down that far sideline. Got one-on-one, got what they wanted out of a 5-wide set, and the Tide lived to tell about it. Same set. 2nd and 10, Tide move. Oh, just move, Rick. Had them 2nd and 10. Now you'll have them 2nd and 5 because we just couldn't hold off on the hard count.
Yeah, I've had a blitz there, and I think what happens is when I believe that was Scott, when he comes rushing up, those footsteps makes movement on that right side of the defensive line for the Tide.
Makes the play call a bit easier here for the Tigers. Gets it to 2nd and 5, moves it up to the 44. Over in the Tigers 44. Over the middle and wide open. Called at the 45 of the Tide. Advanced down to about the 39-yard line, but just too much space there, Rick. The guy making his first catch. That was that was Bryant with the catch. Now trying to work off the left side with the run game. Balance has been there for Hattiesburg. They've done a little bit of both. That's something we really expected them to do based on numbers and film study, and we've seen it. 2nd and 6, ball at the 36. Thosworth looking to throw out route and incomplete. Fortenberry was over there The throw was just wide of the intended wide receiver. He's trying to find Plump. Plump has 13 catches coming in. He's already got a couple tonight.
Yeah, and that's actually, I mean, that's good for the Maroon Tide there, but you get off the field here, you may have some time to put a drive together right before the clock.
3 wide receivers now to the bottom of the set. Plump's the 1 wide receiver up top. He's one-on-one with Fortenberry. Ducksworth now calls for it. He's gotten it. Under pressure, Nolan Wilson gets there. The 4-star makes an impact. A sack there by Mr. Wilson. A big play by Nolan Wilson right when the Tide needed it. That will be his 19th tackle for a loss. It was up over the 70 tackle mark. And the Tide needed that one, Rick. Gets Hattiesburg to a 4th down.
That's what we have to be. You have to be unblockable if you're the 4-star Nolan Wilson when you only have a base set out there. And coaches are kind of in a stalemate here with each other, seeing who's going to burn that timeout. Clock's continuing to run.
Down to 2 seconds on the play clock. Hattiesburg will burn it. 29 seconds left before the half, Rick. If Nolan's able to get another one of these, that would be reminiscent of the Gaucher closing of the half. Tide needed a defensive stand there. Nolan kind of single-handedly closed out that half. That's what we'll ask for him to do on this 4th and 13. But you can't give up anything silly here, Rick. 29 seconds remain in the half. It's 4th and 13. Tigers winning over our Maroon Tide 20-13. Been a super entertaining half of football. Tide haven't played super clean or just their best half of football, but have hung in here enough to be in good shape in the second half if you can get a stop here.
Yeah, and this is if they go for this, Clay, this is a bold move here from the Tigers, because if you don't get it, you're going to shorten this field for the Maroon Tide. We've seen what they can do, what Zay Dennis can do in 6 or 7 seconds from here.
Yeah, but with all their weapons, Rick, I'd be hard-pressed not to go for it. I mean, they have so many guys they can spread it out to and get in. You're in that no man's land. The ball's at the 42, so Tide got to see the formation, got to see the personnel, and then once they did, they burn a timeout. As they take a timeout, we'll take a 30-second break as well. We'll turn with a big 4th down play here to close out our first half. Hattiesburg on top of our Maroon Tide, 20-13. We'll be back after this 30-second break.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
We're back here in a big 4th and 13. Ducksworth looking to throw, gets hit as he delivers it, and it's picked off. Moto's got his 5th pick on the year. Jamari gonna snag it and take it away as a big hit. Ducksworth got hit right in the mouth. If that was Monson able to make the big hit, I believe, on the delivery. And Jamari with the catch, as Jamari now with 5 picks. That's a high mark here, Rick, for defensive backs for the Tide. And our coverage, that's getting him on up the list with 5 picks for Jamari Hathorn.
Yep, now you got 20 seconds and no timeouts, I believe, for Picayune. I believe they've used all of those now, so got to be efficient here.
Yep, and we'll see what the Tide choose to do. Have rolled Colt Robertson out to the right. He's going to try to make what he can out of it before he's run out of bounds. Now with 13 seconds left, Rick, you start to contemplate, hey, are we content here? You throw an out-breaking route. You'd hate to look at the back of the Tigers trying to add one on here. So this is kind of that weird play call situation. it's hard to look good on a play call right here, to be honest with you. 2nd and 10, you're back at your own 31-yard line. What do you think the Tide do with the 2nd down?
I think you got to try to run. You got to try to do something maybe through the air, but if it's not there and you can't do much when you got a mishandled snap again, there's something going on with that center and quarterback exchange.
And I wonder if that has something to do with a good play of Allen earlier in this ball game. If he's made his mark up front so much that he's kind of gotten into the Tide's head there in the interior line for the Tide. Either way, Colt Robertson just going to fall on it, and that will do it for our first half as Hattiesburg leads this one as we head into our half, 20-13. Rick, you're in the dark up here, my man, but give us the best summary you've got there, bud.
Yeah, Picayune takes the ball first. They had to punt. They go 3 and out. Hattiesburg answers with a 6-yard touchdown by Scott to make it 7-0 Hattiesburg. Zay Dennis answers on a 21-yard touchdown run to make it 7-6. Point after wasn't any good. Scott comes back and has a 7-yard touchdown run and makes it 14-6 Hattiesburg. Picayune has an interception on their 3rd drive. Hattiesburg comes back, can't do anything with it. They go 3 and out, actually miss it on 4th down, going for it. Zay Dennis comes back again with a 55-yard touchdown on the next play, Picayune's first offensive play of that drive to make it 14-13. Marshall goes in for a 6-yard touchdown run on Hattiesburg's 4th possession to make it 20-13, and then we had a pick there by Jamari Hathorn to end it out. So 2013 ball game is what we're looking at here at the half. Been a heck of a game.
Yeah, it has, Rick. And the game last year went in tight at the half. Hattiesburg led that one 19-17, if my memory's correct. And then we had a heck of a second half in that one. This one promises to have the same. Hattiesburg will get the football coming out of the locker room, but that will be after you and Darren Uzel steer us through the half here. We'll take a 3-minute timeout to get it started. Once again, we appreciate Coast Electric, Coast Connect, and Diamond Production for the stream tonight. We appreciate you joining us. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please subscribe to that YouTube channel and share with your friends, as we're going to have a doozy of a second half.
It feels good to buy local. Whether you're supporting your community small businesses, family-owned restaurants, or Farm Bureau Insurance, the local agents at Farm Bureau Insurance are dedicated to always helping you protect what's important. Farm Bureau Insurance is headquartered right here in Mississippi, with local agents in your community. If you're shopping for car, home, or life insurance in the Poplarville area, call Kate Amaker at 601-795-4585. Or if you're in the Picayune Carrier area, call Jeremy Shesby, Colby Hawthorne, Colin Pinton, or me, Ross Gilbo, at 601-798-2861. And go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau Casualty, Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi.
Rev up your ride with Topper World Truck Accessories, your one-stop shop in Gulfport and Slidell. Come in and talk to our experts on truck caps, tonneau covers, and spray-in bed liners. Topper World has next-day delivery and is offering a $100 rebate on select fiberglass truck caps. Our trained staff can get your truck ready to pull your boat to your favorite fishing hole or your camper to a dream vacation spot. Get to Topper World in Gulfport or Slidell for all your truck accessory needs, or look us up at topperworld.net.
Pit Lane Oil Change, located at 401 Highway 11 in Picayune, is a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the area for 15 years in the same location. They are a full-service oil change shop, servicing cars, trucks, and even servicing diesel trucks. Pit Lane is a Carfax top-rated service center. They offer new oil filter, air filter inspection, wiper blade inspection, power steering fluid top-off, check transmission fluid, coolant antifreeze top-off, and so much more. Their new hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and closed on Saturdays. Stop by Pit Lane Oil Change today and let them be your personal pit crew. Exotic Stone specializes in a variety of natural and manufactured stone and has proudly provided exceptional service, quality work, and low prices to the residents of Pearl River County and beyond for the past 17 years. They have 2 locations, 6895 Highway 11 in Carriere or 1171 Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Exotic Stones is ready to support all your commercial and residential projects. Give Angela Burmaster a call at 504-606-3170 or stop by one of their convenient locations to view their selection or to request a quote, and you'll be happy that you made Exotic Stones your choice.
All right, folks, we're back halftime here at Hattisburg Tigers Stadium. Maroon Tide trailed this ball game by a score of 13-20. We'll give you some numbers here in the first half. Slow start for the Maroon Tide offensively, but really got things going. Zay Dennis, 12 rushes now, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. Had a couple of missed PATs by both kickers, a couple of turnovers by both offenses, but overall, Darren Uzel, we've got a good one brewing here in Hattiesburg.
We really do, Rick. It's 2 heavyweights going punch for punch right now, and the thought may have been even in South Mississippi that Hattiesburg would maybe run away with this game, but Picayune has stood tall, and man, they're playing some good ball. You ought to be proud if you're a Picayune fan of defense. Really, defense has done well. Tonight, a couple of offensive miscues. I believe we could have probably could have scored on there. Some things we may have missed, but overall, Rick, I mean, we're in good shape. I believe we're in good shape as these teams, the coaches, the players, and all. As a fan base, I believe we're still we're in this thing, and anything can happen in the second half.
Darren, running downfield level through the game, something that Clay and I were talking about, trying to figure out what's going on. There's been several miscommunications with the center and the quarterback.
Yeah,
what's happening there?
Rick, I think it's just the weather. Honestly, I mean the cold. I know all of our ball boys down there, they're keeping these balls wrapped in towels and trying to keep them warm. And not that it has anything. It helps some because these balls do get cold and slippery. So, yeah, it's making a difference. All year, the reason I say I think it's the weather, Rick, because all year we haven't had this trouble, it doesn't seem. And,
no.
So it could be something to do with the temperature tonight. I do know the temperature has something to do with kicking the ball. So it may snapping the ball might feel a little different. So, this is the coldest night that we've played so far this year, leading up to this point. And
it's cold. It's cold up here for me, I tell you that, man. As I'm getting older, I think more blood needs to stay around my heart. So I'm cold everywhere else.
And y'all standing the whole time, too.
Yeah,
this crow's nest is a little shaky. I asked Clay, I said, man, ain't no cracks in this thing, is it?
I told him in the pregame show, it sounds like we're kind of on a camping trip. There's no lights up here.
Man, y'all need to put like a buddy heater up here. Man, y'all need something.
Yeah.
Like a camping trip up here.
My goodness. Well, Darren, looking at it, man, I think the opening drive for the Maroon Tide, we had the bobbled snap, lost 5 yards there. I think that hurt us. I think we pick up a first down. Yeah. But the ray of life here in this Hattiesburg defense, very good. We've seen that. They've got some dudes on that front line. One's just a sophomore, number 99 for them. We talked about him pregame as well. 18 sacks coming in. He's had some tackles for a loss. But like we've seen every week, if you want to load the box up, you'll get us for a loss on a couple plays. But then, boy, there goes Zay Dennis for 55 yards for a touchdown. Broke one here after a disastrous play for a 19-yard loss. Takes it 61 yards there. So he's had some big runs on the night. Makes me feel pretty good about that. Looking at Hattiesburg's setups they have, different types of things they run on offense. We saw the big set. But what I really liked a lot, and I want to get your opinion on this, Duckworth got hit. He got hit hard by Nolan Wilson. Does that change anything for him coming out in the second half?
Are you talking about the one Nolan hit him here or his last?
The last one.
I mean, he got sandwiched.
Yeah.
It was Nolan and 53. I mean, Javen, I believe it was. It rung his bell pretty good, and he squatted down for a little while, trying to get things back in order. But yeah, I think that's a good point, Rick. He's going to think every time he drops back now, he's going to get the ball out quicker, maybe make some more indecisive decisions, and maybe throw some more picks. We should have, it was a great play. It was 4th down over there in the corner when our guy batted the ball down. But if he would have caught it, he had nothing but green ahead of him.
Yeah, I thought he was going to score. I was
I did too, boy. I said,
trying to restrain myself from jumping on top of Clay on the call, but I was like, I saw it. I looked, and I was like, there's nobody there.
He was there.
Nobody there.
And it's those type of plays that is going to break this game open for Picayune. So they got to make them. And as a defensive back, you're going to replay that in your mind after this game's over. You just hope he can. And he's made some great plays tonight as well. But he'll be thinking about that one for a little while. But nothing but green grass ahead of him.
Yeah, Picayune Maroon Tide band just finished up their set, and we'll hang around because this Hattisburg band's pretty special too. So as they're coming out, you'll take them in on the live stream. We appreciate you listening to us. We're going to take another break here, and when we come back, Darren Uzo going to give us some scores, what's going around. We've got another Pearl River County team in action in the Poplarville Hornets, a Talking Ball Y'all crew on that one, and we'll take a look at what's going on, maybe some other scores that he may have for us. But take one more break here, and we'll be right back in just 2 minutes.
You gonna give some stats on this Hattisburg band, how they do or what?
They're going to be great.
Yeah,
I already know.
I already know. Here we go.
Diamond Productions is a premier live production company specializing in audio, lighting, video, content development, and production management. With an uncompromising attention to detail and a standard of excellence that exceeds expectations, we deliver seamless events that engage, inspire, and impress. At Diamond Productions, the bar isn't set for us, it's set by us.
At Planet Home Lending, you are more than just another transaction. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a veteran using VA benefits, or buying a secondary home, they have a home loan program that fits your needs. Planet Home Lending proudly serves Picayune and Pearl River County with FHA home loans, VA loans, USDA housing loans, and more. Give Melissa Rubel a call at 601-276-5058 or stop by their office located at 219C Telly Road in Picayune. Planet Home Lending will get you home.
Go visit Heron Ford, located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi. They are your proud local Ford Lincoln dealer. Whether you're looking for a used car or a new car, or if you have service needs, visit Herring Ford, once again located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi.
Looking for a peaceful home-like community for yourself or a loved one? Welcome to Jubilee Gardens Senior Living in charming Poplarville, Mississippi, just minutes from Hattiesburg and Gulfport. Imagine cozy, garden-themed suites with wide doorways, step-free entry, safety rails, and a covered porch perfect for sipping coffee while watching birds and butterflies. Feel supported, not overwhelmed. Our all-inclusive services include daily housekeeping, fresh home-cooked meals at our Birdhouse Bistro, and a calendar full of wellness programs and social activities. Families say we chose Jubilee Gardens because it felt like home. One resident shares, "I spend my mornings on the porch drinking coffee and watching the birds. It calms me in a way I never experienced before." To experience the comfort and independence of Jubilee Gardens yourself, call 601-818-4838 or email jubileegardens.care@gmail.com. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's Jubilee Gardens Senior Living, with dignity, safety, and joy in every detail.
All right, folks, we were back here about halfway through halftime here. Maroon Tide trails this one if you joined us late by a score of 20-13. Darren User, we're going to turn to you for some scores from around Pearl River County and maybe what might be ahead for the Hattisburg Tigers or what we hope will be for the Picayune Maroon Tide next week.
Yeah, Rick, we got Poplarville and Columbia. Man, They a slobber knocker. It's 7-6 at the halftime.
Wow.
Poplarville is ahead of that one by 1 point. Hey, but listen, last week Pass had Columbia down 7 points in the half, and Columbia comes out in the second half and really turns it on. So Poplarville's going to have to continue to stay locked in with this game against Columbia, and hopefully they can pull that one out. In our 6A bracket, we know Hattiesburg's up 20-13 on us, but Warren Central is leading Ridgeland 24-14 at halftime. So Warren Central seems to be the one that, if they can continue to win that game, pull it off, the 6A South will play that 6A North team out of Warren Central. And then, man, Gulfport is just pouring it on Brandon. It's 33-0 at halftime.
Wow. Gulfport looking to be unstoppable, and they'll be awaiting the winner of Oxford and Tupelo.
And Oxford is leading that one at halftime, 20-7. 20-7. It makes you wonder if Lane's going to go ahead and make his decision off of what little Kiffin does tonight. I don't know.
And that's interesting too. Tupelo had Mr. 7A football this year, and boy, their quarterback, really interesting story with him. Not a quarterback, they were looking for one. He was like, I used to play 7-on-7. I was pretty good. They gave him a shot, and he just took off this year for Tupelo. Yeah, really, really cool story there. The 5A ranks always interesting to me with West Point. We got a West Point score, and what about at Kosciuszko and Louisville on the 4A side?
Kosciuszko is winning at halftime, man, 3-0. You would think that would be a little more higher score, and that's what I have there, Clay. Is that what you got, 3-0? Yeah, 3-0. So the 5A, I'm not, WOX, we don't have nobody in the 5A on the coast, so they're not going to post nothing. So I had to go to Max Preps if you got anything, Clay. Shoot us some of there, what West Point's doing. So we just have 7A, 4A, and 6A going right now to up the scores. But how about this band?
Band's good, man. They look warm down there, a lot warmer than me.
Did they just leave the Macy's Day Parade yesterday? I mean, they could have performed in that.
Yeah, incredible, man. Always get a good look at the band here. Hope everyone's able to take that in. But about 4 minutes to go here, Darren. You think about adjustments for the Maroon Tide coming out in this second half. What are some things that you think will be looking for as keys for them to be able to get back in this ball game?
Rick, as far as defense, continue to do what you're doing. I mean, you might want to send a little bit more pressure, but once you do that, you kind of leave that back end open a little more too. So I don't know, Rick. I'd say go ahead and continue to do what you're doing. I like the game plan for the defense. Offensively, we just got to see how much we've beat up on them in the first half. Maybe some holes are going to open up this second half. You hope that. If that's not the case, the game's going to fall on Colt's shoulders to make some good throws, some good decisions, and receivers catching balls. And we have opened it up more, it seems, like in this first half with some passes, but we're going to have to complete those. We're going to have to complete those in the second half. And if we're going to stay in this thing and even win it, this may be another repeat of what it was last year, 2024 in Picayune. I don't know. But hopefully it goes the other way this year.
Hattiesburg's been, Davion Young for them has been pretty quiet. They've used him more as a decoy. He's stayed on the field even in the big sets. That's a young man that we have to make sure we continue to keep an eye on. Don't go to sleep with those big sets and let him sneak past you because he can get behind the covers really quickly.
So he can, but if you're Tristan Keys and you're looking at the scoreboard, it's 2013, and this is it for high school.
Yeah.
There's nothing like high school football. I don't care. I mean, where you go, really. High school football is a community-driven community. They love you in the community. I mean, how it would be hard to keep. How hard it would have been to keep you out if you're in a close ball game in South State.
Well, yeah, no, and I love you, but I hope Tristan Key stays dressed exactly the way he is.
I do too. I do too. I guess a few million keep you out there.
So yeah, we'll make sure we keep him dressed just like he is. It's gonna be a good one, man. We're gonna take one more long time out. Appreciate Darren Uzell coming up here and joining us here on our camping trip. When we
Hey,
returned back from
y'all should have told me. I would have brought some sleeping bags or something. A flashlight.
Heater would have been nice, man, that heater you have. But we appreciate you joining us, man. We got just under 2 minutes now, and we'll take one more long commercial break. When we return, we'll have Clay Sweet back on the call here, the voice of the Picayune Maroon Tide for the Talking to All Y'all media group. He'll describe all that second half action for you around this commercial break. Thank you.
Roll Tide.
Go visit Heron Ford, located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi. They are your proud local Ford Lincoln dealer. Whether you're looking for a used car or a new car, or if you have service needs, visit Heron Ford, once again located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi.
Making decisions on when and where to further your education is a big step in life, so let Pearl River Community College be the destination for you. Pearl River offers the first 2 years of any major and over 42 career and technical programs. They have 3 locations to better serve your educational needs. The Hancock Center at 454 Highway 90 Suite D in Waveland, the Forest County Center at 5448 Highway 49 South in Hattisburg, and the main campus located at 101 Highway 11 North in Poplarville. Pearl River Community College. Roll, River, roll.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has proudly served the people of South Mississippi with dedication, skill, and results. Whether you are facing a complex legal battle or simply need trusted guidance, our team will work tirelessly to deliver the outcome you deserve. Bill and his experienced team handle a wide range of legal matters, from real estate closings to personal injury, and from wills and probate to criminal defense. We've got you covered. When life gets complicated, we're here to simplify the process and fight for you. With 2 convenient locations in Pearl River County, Cruz Law Firm is ready to stand by your side. Call 769-242-2500 to schedule a consultation for your specific need. That's 769-242-2500, because your future is worth fighting for.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these 2 stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions. If you're looking for a place for that much-needed pregame meal, a place to just take in the game, or a place to have your post-game celebration, visit Champion Sports Bistro. They are a family-oriented sports bistro located at 113 West Canal Street in downtown Picayune. With food and drink specials throughout the week, Champions is a great place to enjoy lunch or dinner. They are open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 10, and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 1. Champion Sports Bistro is Picayune's bistro for champions.
We're back here on the campus of Hattiesburg High School. South State Championship on the 6A level is what's at stake over the next 24 minutes. Ricky Whitaker, we had a doozy of a first half. Miscues on both sides, but a pretty well played first half. Tie could have been a bit cleaner, and maybe if they were, we'd be even at the half and not down a touchdown. But you're right in striking distance on a worthy opponent's home turf. You're going to have to kick it off to the Tigers. Do the Tide try to steal a possession? Right here with Edgar Cruz teeing it up at the 40. We will soon find out. Cruz going to kick it deep on a cold night. Fair catch called for, made at the 15 by the Tigers. Cruz unable to find the end zone tonight. Came in with over 30 touchbacks. He's had a onside try. He had a kick that was called at about the 15 and a great return earlier in the ball game. This one fair called at the 15, so the Tide going to love this. Tigers going to start this first drive of our second half at their own 15. See what the Tide kind of drew up, worked out in the locker room. Had some good things in that first half defensively, had some poor things, a little bit of a mixed bag defensively, but this team in Hattiesburg has given a lot of people a lot worse than a mixed bag and a half of football. So we'll see if the Tide can build on it.
Yep, and they'll come back with that big set. Maroon Tide got to stay disciplined, though, because Young been pretty quiet.
And here's a running play right off the bat. Nolan Wilson going to make the stop. A gain of 4. Yet another back as that's Young in the backfield, Rick. We've seen 4, maybe 5 guys line up by Ducksworth back there at the quarterback position. That's the tailbacks he's been able to put off his right or left hip. It's Young now, and there's a false start, I think, against Hattiesburg, trying to fire off and keep Mitchell Smith at bay. False start it will be against the Tigers. So that's a rough one, Rick. You move, and then Mitchell Smith throws you to the turf. So that's a double whammy.
That's how you got to start, and that's the thing. We talked about Young. They're going to move him around, going to try to get him involved in the running game here, and that's what you want. You got to be able to stop this set right here, force them in a spread, and then get pressure.
Here is Brody Kirkland, had Young dead to right, slowed him up enough, though, for big Mitchell Smith to engulf him at about the 16-yard line. Credit Kirkland, Rick. I was telling you and I both watched the Terry tape. Terry had Young in a similar situation, and he just squirted through. There, Kirkland got just enough of him to allow big Mitchell Smith to get involved, and now this is the kind of play you've got to make if you want to win this football game. You've got Hattiesburg at 3rd and 9 back at their own 14-yard line. You've got to make a stop here.
Got to get off the field here. Got to get off the field. They're going to take their time.
Play clock down to 4. Ducksworth looking to throw. It is a catch nearest to us at the 29-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. Just a beautiful route and put right on the money, as that was well done from Hattiesburg. Just got right what they wanted about the 29-yard line, really at the 30, turned around, did plump, and the football was right on him. So credit the Tigers making the play they needed to make. And here's a rushing play near sideline. That's the guy we've told you about, Young. And he is gone down this near sideline. So the Tigers made the play they needed to make on the 3rd down, parlayed it with a long rushing touchdown right after by their playmaker in Young. What a player he is. 4 for us a year ago was some kind of special. That's a term I kind of hold back and reserve. I've used it quite a few times talking about 4 for the Tigers this week as Young hits a home run to get the scoring started here in the second half. Hattiesburg now leads it 26-13 as we await the point after. The kick is up, and it is good. 27-13, Rick. We talked about it. You had Hattiesburg to a 3rd and 9 back at their 16-yard line. You allow about a 16-yard out, which was a perfect pass from Duckworth to Plump, and then the very next play, a 70-yard run by Davion Young.
Yeah, and the bad thing is, Clay, we had him wrapped up maybe for a minimal gain or potentially a loss. Just couldn't corral him, and once he gets that edge and he gets the sideline, we saw that top end track speed 100-meter guy, and boy, he turns on the jets. No way we're going to catch him.
Remind me, Rick, where did you have him committed to, or at least offered by?
So he's got it
earlier in the week.
He's got an offer from USM, according to what he's put on social media, but also got an offer from every junior college around as well.
He'll have 2. They'll be calling him back. He'll have 2 offers from every community college. He is a stud for the Tigers. He's dressed in 4. He is some kind of special player. Here's a line drive type kick. Dennis is going to let it bounce in front of him. Now he's got it at about the 12, trying to go from right to left, and he has 25-30. Come on and cut it right there. 40 for Dennis. A outstanding return there by Zay Dennis. Has it to the 43-yard line. Tigers on top of our Maroon Tide, 27-13. We're in the South State Championship round here on the 6A level. Tide have some work to do if we're going to punch our ticket to Starkville next Friday night. Trailing this one by 2 full scores by a 14-point margin. Tide have been, we've had one of those patented Picayune drives tonight, Rick. I don't care if we don't have one of those. I'll take one of those patented Zay Dennis sprint aheads. We've had one of each. Here's the toss, the power out to the left, and here's that sprint ahead. He's got it to the 40, does Dennis. Flips it from 140 to the other rather quickly. About a 17-yard pickup from Zay Dennis. Went from about the 43 to the 40. And we got a Tidesman We got Tidesman down on the field, Rick. I think it's Dennis, but I'm not positive. As Dennis with a great run, almost broke it for a touchdown. But
well, we hope he's okay here, and that's going to be the most important thing. Going to get some help from the Hattisburg training staff. Come out and look at him as well.
Pops up, does Dennis with some help from, I believe that was Coach P across the side. Dennis being checked on. You talked about a beloved teammate right there in Zay Dennis. Mr. Chill, he's kind of been known. Zeta Bug, probably known more in that moment right there, as that'll make you put some perspective on what we're watching tonight as he laid still for a moment. Looks to be okay now on the Tide sideline. That will bring Jamari Hathorn into the ball game. The junior is at the tailback spot. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 40 over in Hattiesburg territory. Here's the pitch to Moto, and he's loose. Get on that far sideline. He has all the way up to about the 13-yard line goes Jamari Hathorn. 3 or 4 Tigers still trying to unfold themselves at the point of attack.
What a
as
block.
Rick, somebody did a job over on that left side. I'm going to let you look at the delayed look here on our Diamond Production replay that we kind of use, and they did a tremendous job.
Yep, Colt
on
Robertson
that left
out there
side.
blocking in traffic, leading the way for him. That's going to be a big pickup.
They'll get him all the way to the 12, Rick. So what's that, a 28-yard
yards,
pickup there by Moto. Junior James at the bottom of the screen, lone wide receiver for the Tide. Is that Zay Dennis, who has snuck back in? It is. Cutting it up. And Dennis looks pretty well to me, Rick. Clean bill of health. 12 yards later, he's in for a score. Didn't take the Tide long. We'll get you those details in a moment. But Zay Dennis with 3 touchdowns on the night. He is electric as he now has 35 touchdowns on the year. Need this PAT. Low snap. Good hold by Rayburn on this cold night. and Eddie Cruz punches it right through. Tide not going to go away. You didn't need me to tell you that. If you're a Tide fan, you already knew that the Tide were going to hang tough, have a chance to win this one in the end. They've closed that lead in half. Ricky Whitaker 27-20, Hattiesburg on top. But give us that Diamond Productions drive summary.
Yeah, Tide needed to go 57 yards. They do it in only 3 plays. Zay Dennis 29 rushes on 2 of those carries. And then Jamari Hawthorne goes in for 28. Zay finishes it off with a 12-yard touchdown run, his third on the night. And let's look at his numbers. 101 to get taken off the clock on that drive. Zay Dennis now 14 rushes, 181 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's also got a couple of receptions for 6 yards, averaging 13 yards per carry on the night is Mr. Dennis.
And Dennis is taking some damage, right, Rick?
Yep.
You look at that ball. I love Colt, but the kids these days call that a hospital ball. That's kind of the term for that. And Zay snug and held on to one of those earlier. Rick, I would have quit the game on the spot.
Yep.
But he's been banged up a few times tonight. But what a night he is having. I mean, that's a great per number. Tide just have to pause, have to stop the Tigers. I think they've got to stop them twice in this second half. You look at the score, you're trailing by 7. I really think Hattiesburg's going to have to be stopped twice here in the second half. We'll count them as we get them, as it's going to be marked off, Rick. I'm not sure where the personal foul right here, but this is big news. Eddie Cruz teeing it up back from his 25. That's no good, as personal foul must have came against the Tide, as you don't want to give Hattiesburg a head start. Look at their deep backs, Rick. They've crawled all the way up to their 35. That's not good.
Yep, and that ball, man, in this weather, it's like kicking a ice block for Eddie. Not good weather for him. I saw Coach Steigner down. He was in the ear of this referee closest to the end zone, and he didn't like the call either.
And the other thing it did was take the onside completely out the pitcher. It's caught back at the 19. Says a lot about Cruz and the way he can kick it. There's a personal foul. 2 for Hattiesburg, got the full attention. I mean, he pelted with, there must be 3 flags around that young man. Can't speak exactly to what he did, but Marshall for Hattiesburg, he looked up and he was surrounded with no less, that's 2, and then there's 3, there's 4. Everybody out there besides one got a flag off on that one.
This guy back here threw one flag about 30 yards.
He was loose. Got it way out there. We got a hold. They gave us the number there in high school football. You never get that over the PA. So you got a hold and a personal foul. Rick, so we start off with a personal foul and have to kick it off from our own 25, which is a disaster. But Cruz's big leg reaches it all the way down to the 19, and then you have a good special teams play. And so Hattiesburg really not going to benefit from that. Going to have to start this drive at the 23. See if the Tide can do something with this. This is a potent offense, right, Rick? The way it's so balanced, they can do so many different things against you.
And that the sticks are showing 1st and 10. Clay, that can't be right.
Here is a give just straight ahead, and that's a great first down play for the Tigers. Going to go get 7 quickly. And that's the thing, man. They're saying we're going to have to pound it, so they brought their best player and just put him at tailback. That's smart to me. It's Young is in there off the right hip of Ducksworth. Just hit the 70-yard touchdown. He got 5 tough yards there. He'll try to get it again. Runs away from one Tide tackler, but not the second, as Amari Scott with a really good play. Good job there of bottling up Young. Probably a tackle for a loss, and it will be. They'll put Young back a couple yards.
Clay, when you go back to the last couple of plays there to close out the second half, you mentioned the Gaucher game. Similar to that, boy, Ducksworth took some shots, and they're very careful now. We're going to see their first spread look here in the second half. We got to get pressure here from our front 4.
2-by-2 set, and as you say, pressure, we jump. And that's a late flag. He got talked into that flag.
That's on them. That's on Hattiesburg.
Oh, they moved. Okay. I was mad because I thought Coach Lacey had talked him into a flag, but he's going to hear about it now.
We got back. We were never in the neutral zone. We got to the line of scrimmage, and that stomp about
Just
35 from us. Yep.
Just like a good McGill will do too. He fooled Hattiesburg, as that was Markel McGill for the Tide. And Coach Lacey none too happy with that call.
And listen to this visiting Picayune crowd.
3rd and 13. Big shot being taken on the far sideline. Perfect. And I mean textbook coverage by Mr. Fortenberry. Running stride for stride by the intended wide receiver Plump. And there, I beg for this type of get off the field. It comes a series later, but you get it. And here is that stop on 3rd down, going to face a punt now for Hattiesburg.
Jordan Hathorn of the night.
Yep, Jordan Hathorn going to put his heels at midfield. Oh, a high snap and a line drive type kick with a beautiful bounce. Hit at about the 47 of Hattiesburg. Is going to roll to the 40. And so Picayune going to have pretty good starting field position, Rick, from our own 40-yard line is where the Tide will go to work. That was a pop-up type snapback. I was urging Nolan Wilson to get a mitt on it and block that thing. Didn't pan out. If you're taking it in on the booth cam, type in Talking Ball Y'all on the YouTube stream. Go find us over there. That way you can see the game instead of me and Rick up here freezing in this press box. I shouldn't even call it that. Whatever space we're in Hattiesburg tonight only cost us $750 to rent this place for the night.
No lights, no heat.
Oh, man. Here's Dennis, a little league type run from left to right against his speed. And when I say that, it's where you're trying to get that defense to all go back out to the left. And when it's strung out, he's so used to being able to break it back the other direction and make something happen. Here, the Tigers just too fast to allow it. No gain on the play. They ended up running about 15 yards for that no gain on the play.
Maroon Tide 60 yards away from tying this ball game up potentially, Clay. Big drive here for the Maroon Tide.
2nd and 10. Here's the bull again, Macon Burnett. Just a couple yards for Macon. A nice play made, interior, good stop. It was Allen earlier, but this time is Keys, Bryson Keys, nose guard, nice size. 3rd and 7, Rick, need a play here. Boy, this Hattiesburg defensive staff, they crawl out there to nearly the numbers to help get their guys organized.
They got to get at least half of it here.
Jordan Hathorn on the wingback reverse, trying to make a play, cannot. Hattiesburg had studied that. They kind of knew that one was coming, Ricky Whitaker. Credit them. They were prepared as could be for that, and that was Keys again. Keys has made back-to-back big plays. So we called for the stop, and then they got one in return to kind of cancel out that great defensive series for the Tide a moment ago. Is now Nolan Wilson going to be asked to punt it away back at his 29-yard line. Nolan's hit an end-over-end punt. It's going to hit at the 25 and keep rolling. This thing's going to trickle down to the 8-yard line. And that is where the long snapper, Tanner Rayburn's going to kill it. They'll move it up to the 10 just for no reason at all, Rick. Move it from that 8 to the 10, like just real casual. And it's not that they're one for the other. It's just some of what we see on Friday nights. Just a casual spot of the football, as it had obviously crawled inside the 10, but they'll get it out to the 10 with the spot.
Hattiesburg offense took a little bit of time getting out there. They huddled together and said, hey, we got to get some points here too. But Maroon Tide, got to ask the defense to get another stop here.
And here is that big package, Rick, that you talk about. They're just going to look to pound the football, I would think. And that's what we'll see, trying to run it. That's a hold, and they got it. Markel McGill was wrapped up. He was trying to apply pressure off the end, and he was tackled out here.
Maroon Tide doing a much better job after that long run by Young. A couple of drives to go of getting to that outside quickly trying to make him cut back where the cavalry can help out.
Interesting choice here. You had them stop, Rick. You could make it 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15, as you can only go half the distance here with the hold. So you may want to think through this before you just accept it. And then they declined it. Good job by somebody over there with their thinking cap on.
That was the right call. Good job by you bringing that up.
2nd and 10. 5:24 left in this third quarter. Ducksworth gives it to his tailback off his right side. Just a gain of 3. Tide pursuing it well here. These last couple defensive series as Tony Scott once again. He's got a couple scores on the night for Hattiesburg. Both defenses at times, Rick, have shown themselves just kind of what you would expect to be at this level. You're not going to have bad defenses in play in this South State game. Tide with a 3rd and 7 opportunity defensively to get off the field. Hattiesburg going to put 3 wide receivers to the top of this formation. 1 lone wide receiver to the bottom. That will put one-on-one coverage with Hathorn. And they'll run the football. Shocked me, shocked our defense. Going to get it all the way up to the 31. I thought that was a for sure passing down. Our defense thought the same, and quickly Tony Scott gets it to the 31. Rick, we were thinking pass there, right?
Yeah, I was thinking pass all the way and pressure, but comes in with a draw.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play call, and it's Scott again. Tony Scott, he's got room, 40 up to the 47. Nolan Wilson, really good motor there. That's why Wilson's going to play on the next level, is because of that skill set.
And shouldn't be making that play. I mean, we got to come up and.
Oh boy, they're giving names and numbers out here tonight in high school. Usually it's just a hold, but we got a hold and a number from the white hat.
That's a lot of penalties on this drive for Hattiesburg.
Yeah, we need all the help we can get too, Rick. Trailing here by 7. You get a hold that's going to negate that run, and that's a spot foul. They're going to bring it, look, let's see, they're going to put this thing down, 22-yard line. So that was back behind the play. It's 1st and very long, Rick, after they get that one spotted.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and 20. Got to get to the 42.
A fake of a give, and look at this catch made at the about 43-yard line. I mean, that is just a beautiful grab. J.B. Bryant catches it, lays out for it. That's as good a high school catch. And fearless, Rick, I mean, he sold out and went and dove forward through the middle of a defense to make that catch. Beautiful play by him. It wasn't a great throw by Ducksworth, but it'll go down as a completion because of the effort by Bryant, and gets it now 2nd and 4. Here's a quick pass to Bryant once again. Going to be right at the sticks. And they quickly erase the 1st and 20, Rick, in 2 plays. Get it to now the 43, and that's where it had to be. And it's going to be 1st and 10. And you get a high school offense, Rick, and a 1st and 20. You really like your chances. But Hattiesburg takes 2 plays, erases that advantage. Ducksworth and his entire skill set guys going to look over at the sidelines. Now they've got their play call ready to rock and roll. Good play here by Amari Scott and Markel McGill. McGill coming on strong. No gain on the play. We're under the 3-minute mark left here in the third quarter. Tide trailing 27-20 over the home-standing Hattisburg Tigers. A rematch from last year, and it has matched the drama and the tension from a year ago. Same type ball game. Tide looking for a different result.
Yeah, Hattisburg content to let that clock run, take their time.
Here's Ducksworth going to take a shot over the middle, and it's complete. Bryant catches it, actually helps his helmet back on his head after he was hit, then spins up to the 33-yard line, Rick. Bryant fearless on this drive, has made 3 catches, 2 of the really good variety over the middle for the Tigers.
Yep, just works the middle of the field there, runs a it's like a slant route, able to find a soft spot in that defense for the Maroon Tide and moving the chains here.
Yep, Dunksworth finding himself in a bit of a rhythm, too. 3 wide receivers to the bottom, and now here's Leverett. He's across the 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Leverett. Saw the full display of the Hattiesburg powers there offensively. The passing attack, and now Leverett to finish things off.
Going to be a 33-yard touchdown for Leverett.
Leverett, you said softening. Then they try to change the numbers, and you go back to the rushing attack, and Leverett with the touchdown run gets it a 33-20 as we anticipate the point after here. Snap back was good, the hole was good, and the kicks got it to a 34-20 advantage for the Tigers. Rick, credit Hattiesburg. Every time they've needed a response tonight, they've seemed to have had one for our Maroon Tide. That was a great drive by them. They were in some real jams and were able to get out of them.
Yep, and boy, you had a chance there, get them off the field, just couldn't drive. Hattiesburg's defense responds after a really good drive by the Maroon Tide the series before, but now Maroon Tide continuing to have to chase these points now.
Yeah, and you recognize, Rick, you described that drive as heavily penalized. What Hattiesburg probably had 3 self-inflicted wounds, 3 penalties went against the Tigers on that drive, but they overcame those penalties and still able to score. And so that was impressive. See how the Tide can respond, trailing by 14. 1:51 left in the third quarter. Alea's hit a nice kick. It's going to be fielded. Momentum going backwards here from Zay Dennis. He's all the way back to the 1, Rick. To the 1-yard line is where Zay Dennis. That was trouble from the start because Dennis's momentum took him back towards his own end zone when he retrieved it, and they're going to officially spot him at the 2. Great team speed on these special teams for Hattiesburg. They are tremendous in open space. Young a bit banged up, Davion Young. They're due everything all-star. Davion Young, who doesn't get enough attention statewide, Rick. People should be talking about him more. Keys kind of consumes all the pub for this program, and for really good reason, but boy, Davion Young is an MVP kid for them. He's banged up on this near sideline. It's fun to watch play football. Hate it's against the Tide tonight.
Yeah, boy, you'd love to see Zay break 198 yards here and get this game back in within 1 score for the Maroon Tide.
Wouldn't be out of character. We've seen it before. Instead, it'll be Colt Robertson calling his own number up to, they'll give him the 6 for a bit of breathing room. Time starts to become a factor, Rick. There's plenty of football to be played, but just the style that the Tide, what was that drive earlier in the ball game where we got one? How long?
Oh, we were 8 minutes and I think 10 seconds there.
So that just kind of speaks to my point. You know, you've got a quarter and some change left, but if you're going to score twice, you've got to at least have that clock kind of running in your head as you trail at 34-20. Here is Dennis. Dennis trying to get the corner, just tough to get tonight against the team speed of the Tigers. They've had an awesome night, but they've been able to get to spots we just haven't seen defenses get to this year with their team speed. Dennis a bit banged up after that one. It's a 3rd and 6, Rick. It's not a must-have because there's time left in this ball game, but it's pretty close here with this 3rd and 6 opportunity for the Tide.
Yeah, Maroon Tide been in 3rd and long a lot tonight.
See what the Tide dial up. Boy, oh boy, AK fired off early. AK was on a different count than everybody else, and so tough just got tougher, Rick. It'll back the Tide off, and going to make it a 3rd and 10 here now. Ball at the 3. Ellett going to be the lone wide receiver up top. You have Jordan Hathorn at the wing over on the right. And now a whistle before. Tide showed the play, too. It was going to be the toss. It was going to be the power out to the left. What's the whistle, though, Rick? They've seen our play call. Half the distance here, maybe? Or was it just an inadvertent whistle? Junior James going to run a different play in from the Tide sideline. That'll take Ellett out and put Junior James as that lone wide receiver, I think, to the top of the screen.
Yeah, no signal there. I guess it was an inadvertent whistle.
And that may be the final play now of the quarter, which you look at it, didn't get a playoff in that final little piece of the third quarter. That may matter. 34-20, we'll head to our fourth quarter. Hattiesburg homestanding Tigers on top of our Maroon Tide by 14. Don't go away. This is going to be a special fourth quarter as the Maroon Tide try to punch their ticket to the South State. They try to punch their ticket to the state championship on the 6A level. We'll have your 12-minute of action to decide what's what after this timeout.
Diamond Productions is a premier live production company specializing in audio, lighting, video, content development, and production management. With an uncompromising attention to detail and a standard of excellence that exceeds expectations, we deliver seamless events that engage, inspire, and impress. At Diamond Productions, the bar isn't set for us, it's set by us.
Back here in Hattiesburg with a fresh 12 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. Tide have work to do, trailing 34-20. And tucked back deep into their own territory, Rick, and it's third down. I'd love to deliver a little bit better news. The good news is this team is battle-tested.
Yep,
Bad news is you're in a really tough spot here on the home turf of the Tigers, feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, you think you're Clay third down. I think that
the quarter break and trailing. You had Jordan Hathorn and you had Zay Dennis, and I'm going to be fair, that's not very often been the backfield. You know, you've had Hathorn and Dennis a ton, but Jordan's been over at the wing. Normally, if Jordan's in the backfield, he's played that tailback spot. Here, we were going to use him at the fullback, and I don't know if that created a confusion, but I do know I'm going to want that timeout that we had to burn, especially coming out of third, fourth quarter break. So that's no good. We'll keep it here. Kind of reset the action. Rick, what needs to go right in these final 12 for the Tide to mount this comeback?
Well, we got to get points. First off, we got to get points on this drive. We can't afford to fall down any more than 14 to this Tiger team. Starting to feel pretty good about themselves on offense.
Absolutely. You've gotten Ducksworth in a bit of a rhythm, and then that opened up Leverett for the long run to cap that last drive. Colt Robertson tucked under center. Same formation. You've got a streaking Ontario Wilkins just out of his reach, incomplete at about the 30. It was the right play call, and Wilkins had freed himself in the route, but unable to secure it was Ontario Wilkins off the hands of Wilkins. We'll get a look. Will my color analyst Ricky Whitaker, and maybe just a bit out in front.
Catchable ball. You get a hand on it. It's a catchable ball, but boy, Colt throws a fastball there. You put a little lob on it, and he might still be running.
Yeah, he was open too, Rick. He was open. Here is Nolan Wilson having to punt it away, and Rick didn't get hardly any of it, bud. Just going to go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Nolan almost missed that one completely. That's came off the side of his foot, Rick, and a short punt, and the Tigers smell blood in the water here as let's see where they spot it. Just an awkward looking punt from Nolan Wilson. We've seen him hit some real boomers, but this one is going to be marked out of bounds at about the 26. And so Hattiesburg going to have, they're going to put it at the 27. Hattiesburg is going to have a 27-yard field in front of them offensively. And we had just talked about the rhythm this offense has been in. They'll put 3 wide receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Here's Leverett again. He's to the 12 pretty quickly, Rick, breaking off a 15-yard run. Leverett has not been well or has not been available for the Tigers over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He looks pretty fresh tonight. He's
he looks
a good
very well
back.
tonight, yep.
Yep, he is.
He's
Tide needs something here.
Their bigger bodied back came in leading this backfield in yardage, but as you mentioned, a lot of guys touching the ball.
Leverett that played at Pearl River Community College a long time ago when Jason Baker and I were in coverage there. A really good player out of the Oak Grove area. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 lone wide receiver to the bottom. It's a give to Leverett again, and there's Ghana making a nice stop. Ghana and Scott, they've done a good job against the Ghana tonight, Rick. Haven't been able to talk about Colin very much tonight
hadn't
at all.
caught his name a lot, and Maroon Tide need that. And you don't want to say it's do or die, but boy, if you can come away with stopping them here, I don't think they're going to kick a field goal. So it's either going to be points or you get a stop, and you got to have a stop here.
That was Ghana's 11th tackle for loss on the season. Has had a tremendous sophomore campaign, has Ghana. Dunksworth now moves the back from his right hip to his left hip. And another good play defensively for the Tide. Helmet popped off in the mix. That came off an offensive lineman. That was Alds in on the play. And it was also, I believe, Macon Burnett still making his presence felt down there. Clock continues to wind. We're almost at the 10-minute mark left in this ball game. 3rd and 12, Rick. And you've got it deep in the Tide territory. If you were able to kick a field goal, to make it a 3-score game, so that may be a bit appetizing for the Tigers. We'll see. Tigers staff all the way out, and we're going to get a timeout here. Didn't like something they saw in their setup or the Tide defense setup, Rick. But they're going to burn a timeout. They know how big this 3rd down is. We're under the 10-minute mark, 9:54 when that timeout was burned. Tide trying to make up ground, trailing this one 34-20.
Yeah, it looks like that's Marshall who's come to the sideline. He's got that cramp posture. They're going to try to stretch him out, but I'm okay with him sitting there and stretching out for a couple of plays.
Yeah, we're going to get attention to it. I'm anxious to see what Hattiesburg comes out of this timeout in, because they really didn't like the play call prior to, or the way that kind of see Leverett trying to stretch one out too. And sometimes those things are sneaky on these cold nights. You think you don't need as much hydration.
Yep, not as hydrated as you appear to be, because you're not nearly as thirsty in this cold weather, but big 3rd down here. Wouldn't be surprised if Hattiesburg takes a shot.
I'd be shocked if they didn't get forward the football in some form or fashion. He's in a slot far side. Dunksworth, now that's him coming from left to right. Fake it to him and use that to free a guy wide open. What a clever play call. I'm thinking Davion Young. They send him in motion, fake it to him, and that action freed the wide receiver and Josh Marshall for the touchdown catches. Good play call there. Use Young as a decoy, and Dunksworth put it right on Marshall, and Hattiesburg's open it up to a 40-20 lead on our Maroon Tide as we await a point after. High snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So 41-20 now our score. Hattiesburg just has answered the bell, Rick, time and time again tonight when the Tide have put pressure. have tested the Tigers. They've been up to that test. Still time, though, 9:47 in high school football, Rick. We've both seen crazier things. So hang around with us. Let's see what our Tide can pull off here. Not going to be easy by a long stretch. Trailing by 3 scores, 41-21. What's impressed you tonight about the Tigers, Rick? We've studied them for a while now. Now we get to see them live and in person.
Well, it's been the same thing that we were kind of talking about is their defense, right? You've mentioned their team speed on defense a lot tonight, but looking at what Zay Dennis did to close out the first half, and then coming back and you had 3 plays and we go 67 yards, something like that, with just 3 runs, 2 good ones by Zay and then 1 long one by Moto, and then they come back and we haven't done anything since. It's been 2 punts.
Here's Jamari Hathorn with a return up to the 32. I agree with your sentiments there. One thing Hattiesburg does, man, even if staff's going to need an ice bath after, they work hard on this near side. We've got a front look at it. Before that kick, Coach Lacey's basically pointing out to his kicker where to go with it, Rick. I mean, they are super hands-on with this club. Coach Steigner and his group have done a fine job. Coach Lacey in his first year with Hattiesburg, duplicating a South State berth. Here's a give to Zay Dennis. Dennis trying to work it from right to left. He's made a break for it to the 40, made a dance move. Now he's across midfield. What a spectacular run by Zay Dennis. Gets it to the 42, Rick. How did he turn that into that against this team speed that we bragged about all night for Hattiesburg? If you could tell me he could make a run like that against this talented 11, that was a great run by Dennis. Did that get him over the 200-yard mark?
I believe so. It was a 26-yard gain there, and Zay's going to be 17 rushes now, 208 yards, and all 3 of the Maroon Tide scores. We got to get more of that, and it's got to be quick.
Yes, we do. Here is Macon Burnett, the fullback, senior. Going to churn those big legs down to the 26, Will Macon Burnett.
Yeah, big Mitchell Smith there. He pulled him for a couple extra yards. We'll take that.
You talk about doing it quick. We're under the 8:50 mark here in tonight's ball game. Tide trying to make up a 21-point advantage that Hattiesburg currently holds. Tide faithful, though, haven't moved an inch on that far side. Here's Moto trying to make a run of it. Jamari Hathorn still alive. About a 3-yard pickup. That was a tough run by Jamari Hathorn. You think about it, Rick, Jamari coming back and Zay coming back. That's a heck of a 1-2 combo that have gotten a ton of experience in that backfield for the Tide this year. Not to mention Moto's 5 picks on the defensive side.
Yep, it's a big deal. Yeah, three tough yards there by Moto.
1st and 10. Run from Jamari Hathorn, picked up the first down. Here, Hattiesburg, though, right where they needed to be. No gain on the play. We're under the 8-minute mark. Hattiesburg on top of our Tide, 41-20. If you're joining us on the booth cam, check out the YouTube channel for the closing moments of this ball game. Should be a link in the comments so you can see the game other than the booth cam. Colt Robertson going to tuck himself under center. The senior QB gives it to his wingback. That's Jordan Hathorn. Lowered his shoulder on a guy at about the 22. That balled him up to the 20. An impressive run there by the senior Jordan Hathorn. Has had a tremendous career here for the Tide. Been a really good football player, right, Rick? We've had a pleasure to call Jordan Hathorn's action through the years.
Yep.
Fun one to watch.
He's been great, man. Going to be a 13-yard pickup, his best pickup of the night.
Tide now with just 7 minutes left to try to make up this ground. Here's Zay Dennis, just had to put his foot in the ground and cut it up, and Will to the mark of the 16-yard line. And some extracurriculars here after the fact. Allen with another stop. He's made a bunch of plays, Rick. He's one we circled earlier in the week, and it's kind of easy to say, hey, you can't let this guy destroy the game.
Yep.
Easier said than done, right?
That's right. He's been a good one.
He absolutely has.
Just a sophomore.
A fake give and a pass to the end zone to Hathorn, and it's incomplete. As Jordan Hathorn flashed open momentarily, but the defensive back able to get himself back into the play and deflect it down, incomplete.
Yeah, that was one play where it maybe had a little bit too much loft on that one. As you said, allowed that D-back to get back in coverage there, but another big third down here for the Maroon Tide. Gotta hurry.
Yep, Tide now closing in on the 6-minute mark as the weather starting to play a part even on me, Rick. Is cold out here tonight as Zay Dennis trying to get around the right side. The power going to be short of the sticks, going to bring up a 4th down. 4th and about 1.5 yards is what we should have depending on the spot, and it will be. So obviously, Rick, you got to have this one. You're under the 6-minute mark. You're trailing by 3 scores, and you're facing a 4th and about 1.5 yards. Need to tuck it inside the 10-yard line here for the Tide. You've got 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the set. It'll be the power out to the left. It's got the first down and then some. Look at Dennis spin ahead up to the 5-yard line. Goes Zay Dennis. Just continues to run the football hard. Dennis has been hit, Rick, tonight. We even joked about it on the post game. 16 rushes a week ago, had 5 of those end in scores. That ice bath we were joking about a week ago will need to be in full effect over the rest of the weekend. Here's the Bull, Macon Burnett going to stretch it out and have the 5-yard touchdown score. Macon 2nd touchdown in as many weeks. As he got one a week ago, has one here tonight to close this lead. We'll wait the point after, the Diamond Production point after. We appreciate Coast Connect, Coast Electric, and Diamond Productions for the stream tonight. Jackson Harrelson over working the camera for us once again tonight. He's been along for the ride all year long. PAT is good from Edgar Cruz, and so the senior Macon Burnett, Rick, from that fullback position has fought back from injury and has scored on back-to-back weeks for the Maroon Tide.
Yep, Maroon Tide go 68 yards in 10 plays, take 5 minutes and 10 seconds. That's some valuable time off of that clock. And going to get down to a two-score game now. Bull goes in from 5 yards out.
It'd be a bit warmer up here, Rick, if we were able to get this onside kick. Don't you believe?
I do.
Because 2 scores is a bunch with 5:10 left, but if you got an onside kick, it'd get that old hope machine to pump pretty hard here, and we'd be happy about that. Let's see how Cruz can hit it. He's got it teed up at his 40. Cruz, an incredible soccer kid. And here's a ball that's loose, a scramble for it. He hit it well, Rick. Had some velocity at that front line of Hattisburg. Weren't able to squeeze it clean, but the Tigers do come up with it in the end. But that was well hit by Edgar Cruz, gave the Tide a chance, but Hattisburg will have it. A little over the 5-minute mark left in this one, 41-27.
Yeah, I believe the Maroon Tide has 2 timeouts left. Hattisburg's got 2 as well.
Yep, burned that one coming in between the 3rd and the 4th quarter. Had to use that one, and I can't recall another one, Rick. I believe that was our long timeout used.
You know, I believe we might have used another one on that last drive. Didn't like the formation.
Yep, so maybe Hepburn too.
Yep.
Here's that Wildcat type formation, and will just keep it himself. We've seen that tonight already with Marshall. And up to the 41-yard line as a Tideman, yeah, there he is, rolled over for me at least. Had to wait for Nolan to move a bit there, but he is grabbing at his lower body. Is Nolan Wilson, 4-star for the Tide, Alabama commit.
Yeah, it took him a second to move there, but glad he's moving around.
Yep, made my heart skip a beat. We'll take a timeout here. We'll return. We'll get you an update on Mr. Wilson on the best that we can. Hattiesburg on top of our Maroon Tide, 41-27. There's 4:59 left in this one. We'll take a minute timeout and we'll return here on the campus of Hattiesburg, 6A South State Championship ball game.
Diamond Productions is a premier live production company specializing in audio, lighting, video, content development, and production management. With an uncompromising attention to detail and a standard of excellence that exceeds expectations, we deliver seamless events that engage, inspire, and impress. At Diamond Productions, the bar isn't set for us, it's set by us.
It feels good to buy local. Whether you're supporting your community small businesses, family-owned restaurants, or Farm Bureau Insurance, the local agents at Farm Bureau Insurance are dedicated to always helping you protect what's important. Farm Bureau Insurance is headquartered right here in Mississippi with local agents in your community. If you're shopping for car, home, or life insurance in the Poplarville area, call Kate Am.
Nolan Wilson able to leave underneath his own power. That was great news for Nolan and Maroon Tide fans as he was able to walk off under his own power. Hattiesburg leads this one 41-27, 4:47 and a clock rolling here. Hattiesburg trying to end the season of our Picayune Maroon Tide in back-to-back years. They're pointing at the play clock, don't want to snap it till it's probably 5 or less. But they went ahead and snapped it with about 10 on the play clock. As this is Young, Davion Young with a run just straight ahead. Young's been as advertised, a really phenomenal player as Davion Young. And a lot of stretches, Rick, you hate to say carried a team because Ducksworth, his quarterback's been good, but he's come close to that. They've got a ton of weapons, but he is A1 on the old scouting report. If 5 doesn't dress, it goes all
good.
attention to 4 pretty quick.
Charlie Rogers referred to him as the MVP of the team this year, and it's hard to disagree with that.
Ain't no doubt about that. I would say so. Here he is sprinting off the right side, runs over a Tidesman at the 25. He'll stay alive, Slick. And now he's cut straight across from the right to the left before going into the end zone to burn a few more seconds before he's going to score. As the Tigers extend this lead to 47-27, Rick. At about the 15, ran out a pack of the Tidesmen. We'd seen that on tape a few times. We're not the first victim to Mr. Young in that play. One in particular is Terry. We saw him come out of a pack real similar as we await the point after. Gets it to a 20-point advantage, 47-27. Kicks blocked by the Tide, and that's awesome news. That was Nolan Wilson. Not sure that he blocked it, Rick, but he's back in there. And so that's really great news for the Tide that Nolan Wilson was in on that play. Not that it matters tonight, but we certainly don't need Nolan Wilson banged up. Hattiesburg feeling beyond good about themselves at the moment. They punched their ticket basically to the 6A title game in Starkville Friday night. Looked like it was going to be Warren Central. Haven't gotten an updated score. I'm more interested really in that Poplarville-Columbia game, as our coverage mates were over at that one. Of course, that's one of the first scores we check every Friday night, that Poplarville score. So I'm trying to get you an update on that. Teed up. Columbia won it 20-14 as a final. So Columbia won that one 20-14 over the Poplarville Hornets. Columbia, man, that is some kind of year they've put together. Undefeated as they'll compete for the 4A state championship. It's Jamari Hathorn trying to make the return. He's up to the 26-yard line before he's hammered down. So a 20-point spread here, 3:26 left. Tide faithful have hung in pretty good. Even some of the Hattiesburg Tiger fans starting to make their way to the exit on a cold night here in the Hub City. We appreciate you joining the stream tonight. If you've taken it in, we appreciate Donnie Pascal, Diamond Productions, Coast Connect, Coast Electric for their sponsor of the stream here tonight. Jackson Harrelson on the camera, Ricky Whitaker for all that you do for the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group, and our Picayune Maroon Tide coverage. We love it. There's just no doubt about that. We love the access that we get to the program. We love being around the players, the coaches, and everything that comes along with it. We appreciate those that have chosen to take in our coverage. Coach Lacey on this near side, Rick, still lobbying for something. Not sure exactly what he's wanting to.
He wanted a flag thrown on the late hit. What was it, a late hit?
On Mitchell finishing off a block.
Finishing up a block.
There's going to be a pitch out and maybe a backwards thrown pass. They're going to say incomplete. Tiger staff isn't going to like this. That's a play they run a lot. Truth be told, they may have got away with one of those just a week ago on the film we saw against Pascagoula. So, not that it matters at all at this point, Rick. 47-27, the score currently. Tide's still out there trying, and so are the Tigers. There's no doubt about that, but this outcome's not a mystery anymore. It's been cold and dark up here all night, Rick, but this is as cold and dark as it's felt.
Yep.
Here's Jordan Hathorn trying to work from left to right. Now he'll break it back, and they will get the flag they've been asking for. Is Mitchell Smith going to get a flag after the fact? I believe they'll ask him to leave, as I think that's his second of the night. On the Mitchell Smith perspective. Crowd here, Hattiesburg serenading Mitchell.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the kind, Rick, I'd be okay. It all goes to zeros. We get on the bus, go back. They do their thing here. The final 2:33 gets a little dicey when the outcome's pretty much spoken for.
So block in the back, not going to be a personal foul.
You're right. But we got to get Mitchell off the field.
Got to get back to the huddle.
Yeah, we got to get him off of there, too. No point in letting him hang around at this point. And when I say that, I don't care where he goes and stands. I just don't want something bigger to break out for him or Hattiesburg or anybody involved. Hattiesburg's perspective, you don't want to walk into next week shorthanded because you do something silly at the end of this one. And then from Mitchell's perspective, you're representing the Picayune Maroon Tide and his family and his future. Don't want anything to happen on either side. So both teams kind of huddling here, Rick. Timeout, I believe the officials have told them to get both teams together, kind of extend this one out. We'll go ahead and start our Coast Connect and Coast Electric kind of post-game show and work in the action as it continues here. But we'll go ahead and start putting some wraps on and some bows on some things.
Yeah, I mean, we had a 2013 ball game at the half, Clay, and Picayune comes out. Hattisburg, Young with a 70-yard touchdown makes it 27-13. Zay Dennis answers with a 12-yard rush to make it 27-20. 33-yard run by Leverett makes it 34-20. And then you had Marshall going from a 21-yard touchdown, and then Young from 37 yards to kind of put things away. But outside of the Zay Dennis 12-yard rush and the Bull with a 5-yard touchdown, it's been punts in between of that, and that's really been the difference. Like we said, what looked like was going to be Picayune starting to find some things in this Hattiesburg defense. Hattiesburg clamped down, and that was it.
3rd and 10 here as Colt Robertson going to take a shot, one-on-one coverage, and it's going to be picked off at about the 37-yard line. As that is going to be picked off. I believe that was Tarver with the pick. Flags going everywhere here from the sideline as Hattiesburg celebrating the pick. One-on-one coverage, a nice play made by Tarver, able to make the pick. Hattiesburg leads this one 47-27, 2:23 left. It's going to have to be some good jobs done by these staffs. Neither team in love with one another at the moment, trying to keep this thing the way it should be in post-game.
Yeah, Maroon Tide had chances. You go back to the second half when we started here, and you had them just backed up 1st and long, backed up deep in their own red zone, and ends up picking a 1st down up. It's kind of the way the second half went for the Maroon Tide.
Yeah, is that the one? It was 1st and 20, and then
2 plays, they got a 1st down.
Yep, did that, and there was another play that stands out where they really needed a 3rd. This was earlier. I mean, this was probably first half action where Hattiesburg needed a 3rd and 13, ran about a 20-yard out, picked it up, and then the next play was a touchdown.
Yeah, you're seeing a couple of senior guys putting their arms around each other there. It's Nolan Wilson and trying to see who he had his arm around, consoling, sad, probably going to be his last snap.
Yeah, and these kids have played hard all year long, man.
Fortenberry's been a heck of a ball player for the Maroon Tide.
Yep, the senior class has been really good to the Maroon Tide, to the brand, to the program that is the Maroon Tide. And look, the level of success they've had, Rick. I mean, it's not going to feel good tonight, but to go – I look at high school as a sophomore year unless you're just some kind of stud player, really being your first kind of high school year. So your sophomore year, you win a state championship, and then your junior and your senior, you play in the South State Championship. That's a pretty big deal for this class. Here's Young again, Davion Young. For his sake, man, you pray for him to be healthy. No reason really for him to still be toting it around with a 20-point advantage. He's going to be, I would think, pretty featured in next week's affair. You'd hate for him to be banged up in the closing minutes of this one.
Yeah, credit Hattiesburg, man. I mean, they've came out. You mentioned it. They've coached this team incredibly hard for 4 quarters. I mean, they have not let up at all. Really knew that they would have to do that against this Maroon Tide team, and they've answered the bell at times. They gave some big plays up, but overall, man, Maroon Tide the Hattiesburg Tigers have been very intense all night.
Yep, they have a good squad. We talked about it this week, Rick. So many spots they can hurt you from. Maybe a bit different in that regard from a year ago. They were balanced a year ago, but this team has a bunch of different playmakers. They're really, really tough. 47-27. Hattiesburg now in a victory formation. It'll be a short post-game show as we've already kind of gotten into our Coast Connect, Coast Electric post-game show, Pearl River Community College, as that will do it in exuberant Hattiesburg after the final snap. We're just trying to keep both of these groups kind of squared away from one another, as I think doing a pretty good job. Coach Lacey and Coach Stoggen are doing that. Getting both of these squads to celebrate, and then a Tide heartbreak, Rick, just gut-wrenching to see the seniors primarily, but all of the young men, man, who poured so much into it.
Yeah, pretty good gamesmanship there. You see, I think it's 94 for Hattisburg. Goes and takes a knee beside the bull, Macon Burnett, consoling him a little bit. Of course, he comes back just for the start of the playoffs and lit a spark, really. I think a lot of that turnaround, he's responsible for a lot of that stuff. But hate it for these seniors. But Maroon Tide, like you said, 5 years, your worst finish has been a South State title game berth, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Ricky Whitaker, a tough group for our Tidesmen. We'll be able to put a better bow on it on our post-game podcast. Any final thoughts from you, Rick?
No, I mean, I think Hattiesburg is going to be a tough draw for whoever wins, whether it be Richland or
Warren Central.
Warren Central. It was a Central. Trying to think who it was.
It's been a long night up here in the cold, dark, and that'll do it for us, Rick. For the final time tonight, Hattiesburg takes it over Picayune, 47-27. For more details on tonight, Rick, you want to give the numbers one more time?
Yeah, we'll give the numbers tonight for the final here. Zay Dennis, 21 rushes for 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. 10.7 yards per carry. He was really the workhorse tonight. And Jamari Hawthorne pitched in a couple, 6 rushes, 42 yards. Hawthorne had 6 for 25, and Macon Burnett 5 for 19, the other touchdown on the night. Colt Robertson 3 for 9 on the night, 20 yards, had a couple interceptions, but overall this was the Tigers' night. Maroon Tide gonna head back to Picayune. Hattiesburg Tigers going to be heading to Starkville, Mississippi, Mississippi State campus to play for the 6A title game there, and we'll try to see if we can get you a score here. Final game, come up with here.
Sorry about that, Rick. When your son's doing double duty with the huddle stuff, I had to kind of help him down the stairs there. So Hattiesburg takes this one 47-27. Did we owe them a final score there, Rick, on another game? Is that what you were doing there?
Well, I was looking to see if we had a final. So Tupelo's final. They took down Oxford 21-20. They'll be playing Gulfport, who beat Brandon 40-7, and then I'm looking at boy, a close one. Warren Central going to be pulled. They pulled that one off, 45-42 over Richland. So if that score is correct, Hattiesburg going to be taking on Warren Central there at Starkville, Mississippi State.
Wow, and
campus
so
next Friday.
So that'll be our 6A matchup. We're going to close up shop. We can't thank you enough for taking in Talking Ball Y'all coverage on Picayune Maroon Tide football. You'll get a post-game podcast out of this one, and then we'll probably do something to put a bow on the season as a whole, pay due to these seniors and the staff for what an incredible year that the Tide have put together to get us to this point. But to be honest, this is a terrible setting to try to do it in. We can't see our notes. There's no lights in the spot that's been provided to us, and so we'll do that when we're in a better setting. But we appreciate you joining us tonight. Final time tonight, Hattiesburg over our Picayune Maroon Tide, 47-27. Until you hear from us again, love God, love people.